Going live.
Heyo.
And let me make sure it's on.
I'm just gonna quickly
things.
look at Amaranth's boobs and then come right back.
I don't.
She's back.
I don't understand. I was hoping Amaranth was gonna raid me, but she didn't.
Oh my god, the boob itch! It's too intense. I gotta go back to Ked. Too much boob itch. I did the same thing earlier for Ebony's stream. Just, oh my.
Okay, and I'm just making sure I'm on all the socials. All streams and podcasts. Which? There we go. There we go. Oh, I feel like I have no voice today. Okay. Oh, I said hello tubes on that one too. Oh, for fuck's sakes. Why are you making me log back into this shit? Stupid chat thing, just so I can see the YouTube chats. That's not the right one, is it? Mountains or hills? First I gotta click I'm not a robot, then I gotta click on mountains or hills. None of these are mountains or hills.
Into this shit.
Well, okay, fuck that then. I guess I'm not seeing the YouTube chat. If anyone else is on YouTube, I am sorry. I'm not paying attention right now. Nothing I can do about that.
We don't love you.
Anywho, let me just make sure one more thing as we get ourselves set up here. That is not it. I need to go to Twitch. Here. Anywho, let me just make sure one more
Blast
thing.
your feedback and
Yeah, sorry, I was logging onto Twitch on my phone. And forgot that I had the volume up.
And no worries. There we go. There we go. Okay. I think we are all ready. All right. And on my stream, you know, so I got a nice effect in the background. My background's all like blurred and stuff. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I can do other things too now. Like, look, I've got a comic book face. Now I'm super pretty.
I kind of like comic book, Ked.
I'm a comic book. And now I'm a potato. Now I'm a potato.
Oh, that's what.
So yeah, I can all sorts of stuff.
Now you're spud up.
Sped up. Good shit. Good shit. Let's get into this. Okay. I just got to do a thing here.
It's not a tuba.
The snowing is good. Keep the snowing.
You did the bits, but I have to.
I mean, you are in Canada.
I am. I've got to do the reconnect thing
Blame
so that
global warming.
someone does the $5 a month thing. It works, man. Everything's just being a setup today, I swear. Go.
I've been notified.
It's not a tuba.
You have to do it with the proper voice. It's not a tuba.
Sure. Yeah, it's not a tuba. All right. So I do believe we are all here. I do believe we are all ready. Let's get into this for session 2. So, hey, thanks for the subscribbles. The Prime Gaming. Oh, there we go. I was like, why do I not hear the... I got like the notification and it took like forever for the extra thing to pop up. Oh, the other subscribbles. Hype train incoming. Yeah.
oh, hype train.
Hype train. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. Oh, well, that stuff processes through. We're just getting ourselves comfortable, letting a few people filter in. Normally I do that, like, I start 10 minutes before the actual start time so people can filter in, but I was running a bit late today.
For shame, sir. For shame.
I know, right? I still made it on time for the group, but no, I didn't. I wasn't early.
Blame the Eternals.
Yeah. Yeah, we were watching the Eternals. Yeah, we were watching the Eternals, the movie.
Was it any good?
I will preface it, no spoilers. No spoilers. But it was... it wasn't great.
Meh.
It was meh. It was shallow. Hey, gifting the sub for talking with Adam. That's fucking awesome. Thanks, bud. Thanks, bud.
That was for a very selfish reason. I want to steal the top spot and gifted subs.
Oh, I see.
That's fair.
That's fair.
Oh, level 2 hype train.
Oh, level 2 hype train. Much appreciated.
Choo-choo.
Choo-choo, more subs. You guys are awesome. Feeding back into the channel. All good times. Yeah, it was kind of like, I won't give details in the movie way, but it was shallow. It was an ensemble movie with no intro to the characters individually, and the plot was like the plot that like an 8-year-old could have written.
It's like a Michael Bay film.
Yeah, actually, yeah, it was all eye candy in action, which isn't a bad thing. It's just, I think that Marvel movies, especially these days, they've kind of set a certain bar to be more than just eye candy. And
I find with some of the Marvel movies, in some aspects, they've become a tad formulaic. Some of the Marvel movies, especially like new characters being brought in.
Salma Hayek eye candy, yeah, she ages very well. Very well.
Oh god, yeah.
I got pushed into, I got 100 bits, got pushed into the Pretty Princess mode by DJ Dippa. Hey Dippa! How's it going? Oh, and then another gift. Count Monster Rod ended up getting, all the good people are getting the gifted subs. Somehow you've like targeted. Did you actually do it by like random?
Yeah, I did random.
As did I.
Wow, you guys are just like somehow randomly you're getting it hyper focused on the peoples. Okay. All right.
We're totally not buttering up our DM so we don't get a TPK.
Less likely to happen in Numenera, but could still happen. You never know.
I was going to say,
This group will figure it out.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting the last TPK. You guys caused that like 100% on your own.
That was still one of the most epic.
Yeah, 50-50. Yeah, actions have consequences. Don't you know? Actions have consequences. Okay, so, oh shit, yeah, more stuff. Oh, it's like taking forever. Bad Hair had the same thing the other day. It's like taking a hot second to like catch up with the messages of like what's going on.
Yeah, there's a large lag between. I don't know if it's like what Streamlabs you're using or something.
Yeah, well, I'm using. No, I'm not using Streamlabs. I'm using OBS.live. So it's OBS with the live plugin.
Okay.
For Stream Elements, which is weird. All right, you got this, bot. I believe in you. All right. So eventually we'll go back to normal, but for now, oh, looks like it's already bringing us back to the wrong screen. There we go. All right, let's do our recap. I'm assuming everyone is good by now. We're 8 minutes after. Was super light. It's fine. We did do our little bit of intro stuff. A lot of groups do that shit. Like, follow, subscribe. Don't forget to check out our merch store. Except our group doesn't have a merch store per se. I mean, I guess I do. I don't really do anything with it. I have like 3 designs. Let's do a recap, shall we? So, last session, we started out in Medias Res, where you were in the tunnels below the town of Bodrov, where you faced what at first appeared to be the corpses of some long dead humanoids. It was only after they attacked you that you tried to flee. Unfortunately, the labyrinthine maze of tunnels meant instant escape was not an option. Thanks to the other bits that are just now popping up. You could have wandered in your haste or fought, and you chose to fight. In a daring fight where the only real damage was to your automaton friend Max, you managed to dispatch the things in the hallway. As you sorted through some of the Numenera bits and bobs the silvery-veined corpses had, you thought back to what you were doing here. The scene pulled out and rewound several days where we went through each player. Charlie, with Max nearby, tinkered in the workshop with Zan. Cyrus had been training with Cynthia, the Aeon priest known as the Sun Eater. Flannery and Hawk had been tending the farm and then doing some hard thinking of what to do in the area. Horatio was madly dashing around town, mixtures of exercising, delivering packages, and whatnot. And Lance spent some time with his mum, one of the most important people in the world to him.
Aww.
Let's get rid of that.
I love it.
So, finally you had enough of your normal lives. For one reason or another, you decided it was time to move on from Bedrove. Why do I have this as set as... There we go. Oh, it didn't save the quest bit, that's why. That is when you were approaching a bar by a strange man after a little discussion. Of course, you took him up on his offer. Thus, you started the quest, which I will share with you in a second. The flashback complete, our view shifted back to the present. You sit in a strangely angled corridor, tending to the wounds and preparing on where to go. You know you still have yet to find the parts that Benji needs, but it's also important to find a way out of this alien place that has obviously never been designed for the likes of you. So, first things first, let me bring up the quests. I think I can do it's currently active. Yeah, show to players. So, we had kind of discussed it. He wanted some more things to help him start his shop in town. And as a result, he would give you a bit of secret information that could make you really change your lives in one way or another. Now, there's a couple of things that I didn't quite cover because it was sort of at the end of the session last time that we're going to cover now. Excuse me. So first of all, the things he needs 10 parts, 5 IO, and some sort of source for synth steel. So he's hoping you can find that within the tunnels below Bedrove. Now, as a sign of good faith, once he knows that you have the stuff, before you give it to him, he's willing to tell you the information that he has. So that he's showing that, hey, he's not just going to give you nothing in exchange for what you've collected for him. He's willing to actually give you that information first, as long as he's sure that you have it. Sort of a sign of good faith. And yes. Okay. Let me go to the session notes here. Quick one here. All right. So, before we get into this, here, let's switch from the creepy music for a second. Go to this like peaceful music so that it's we're just getting into the intro and flow of the session, and then we'll switch back to the creepy stuff once we're going through the tunnels and seeing what we're doing. So first of all, I've been liking to do this little bit of warm-up. It lets me know a little bit more about the characters, and it sort of gets you into the flow of things when we first start the game. So I've got some questions for you guys before we get into the flow of the game once again. Starting with Charlie. What does your name mean to you, and is there anything special about it?
Charlie, and specifically the reason why, so Charlie was her grandfather, who had more of an inventive mind like her, as opposed to a farmer's mind like her parents. Somebody who was quizzical and questioned things and had fun playing with like little bits of Numenera, and that's where she got, or where they got their inspiration from.
Oh shit, that's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, that's really good. And once again, as you guys answer this, there's no wrong answer. Even if you can't come up with something and you just like, you give like a little throwaway answer, whatever, it's fine. It's just to get us warmed up for the day. That, however, was a brilliant answer. That gives me a lot to work with. Cyrus, who in the party would you prioritize rescuing in dire circumstances?
Ooh, that is a tough one. That is a tough one.
Hey, Spigs.
Looking at my roster here, I guess I don't know a heck of a lot about the party just yet, but based on what I'm seeing here, most of them are looking like pretty big, tough guys. One's a robot. And Charlie's got like tons of gizmos and gadgets and shit to probably get himself out of trouble. So I'd probably go with Flannery.
Flannery, okay. She's not one of like the swole bro dudes or the robot.
Yeah. It's like I haven't seen her full capabilities yet. The rest of them are either a robot or really well supplied or like big tough bro guys. So
I just imagine like three of the biggest people in the group just standing in the middle of the room shirtless, just flexing at each other.
At least two of them are.
I meant Hawk is the type that I figure he'd be in the corner of the room, probably still clothed. However, Horatio and Lance, they're like playing drums with their pecs or something, just like
I bet I can do more pull-ups than you. Watch me.
Actually, Horatio and Lance, what I'm picturing is that scene from Full Metal Alchemist where Major Armstrong and his teacher's like husband have that like flex off and then will love and understanding of each other.
We communicate through our muscles.
So I'm gonna put Flannery because not Swole Bro or Robot.
Yeah, she's not as obviously like tough as the rest of them.
And I mean, Charlie's not either, but Charlie's got like all the gizmos and travels with the robot, the automaton. So
yeah, he's got a million toys and this and that.
as much as Max is its own individual entity, I mean, it's Max also kind of is tied to and belongs to Charlie in some ways. I mean, Max's life is sort of responsible because of Charlie, so I can see that. So yeah, Flannery makes sense. I like that. Once again, there's no wrong answer to this. These are just warm-up questions just to get us into the flow of things. Love doing this shit. And considering I have like a huge list of all of these questions, I do it random every day. Flannery, out of this group, who do you admire the most?
My big brother, no question.
Yeah, I kind of see that.
Looking up to your bigger bro.
So you look up to Hawk.
He can outflex you guys any day of the week.
Oh yeah, I bet you can do more
Boy's got
burpees.
potential.
How many
Words
burpees
hurt,
can you do?
Flannery.
Warning, burn damage detected.
Oh.
Quiet down, Gumball.
Cooling you down with shade. All right, well, moving on then. Hawk, what's your biggest flaw?
Hawk's biggest flaw is definitely overconfidence in his own skills.
Overconfidence. Own skills. I like it. Okay. Yeah, gives me more to work with. I like that. It's not that you'll curse too much. Fuck.
Fuck.
Damn it. All right. Moving on. Horatio, if you could go back in time and change one thing about your life, what would it be? Unhealthy eating. You could have been super swole bro from day one, eh?
I'd think of the gains I would have had if I had more years.
I'm telling you,
an
man,
idiot.
you need the carbs to get some bulk. You turn that bulk into muscle.
Don't you worry. I've got a plan. This is the way. Flips upside down, does the standing push-ups, or the upside down push-ups.
I feel like
Check out my
Horatio,
abs.
like your like goal in life is to find a way to never have to sit or lay down in your life ever again. Like you just want to sleep, like doing jumping jacks.
There's always more opportunity for sick gains. Don't skip leg day.
Take a nap while you're going for a jog.
Lance, are there any social or political issues you feel strongly about?
No. Lance is so far separated from any like social political topics. Like he has no qualms on it. Whatever his mom says, pretty much.
You're too much of a country bumpkin, basically. You're just removed from everything. So it's
whatever mom says is good is good. And Lance's mom is 5 feet tall, 5 feet wide, and all muscle.
Oh, one of those ladies. Like she's been making pies for long enough that she could like just roll you out type thing. Just
don't mess with Mama Lance.
All right. And finally, Max, if you could ask your past self one question, and I'm talking like ancient past self before your memory was restored. If you could ask your past self one question, what one question would that be? Are you there, Max?
Oh, sorry. I thought you were. Yeah, I was muted. There was one thing that I could ask my past self. You said?
Yeah, your ancient past self.
Who are you?
Can you rephrase that?
Hey, no wrong answer. It works.
Who are you? I am Max. Done. Well, that didn't answer anything.
Well, shit.
I was hoping you were going to go with what is my purpose.
Well, that's sort of encompassed in the whole concept of who I am. So,
maybe you don't know because you don't know what sort of consciousness or entities or anything created you. It could be a lot more esoteric than that. Who and what may be very separated. But because you were rebuilt by humanity, your current understanding, your current intellectual, your current abilities are very, very much more human aligned, no matter who or what designed your original form.
I mean, this vessel's face is designed after human, so.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, this is where we are going to change things back to creepy playlist. There we go. Because once again, you are in. Do I have the picture for it? It was in session. Oh no, it's right there. Show to all. So once again, you were in these like angular sort of triangular type of tunnels, very awkward for you to move through. It was obviously never designed or meant for humanoids like yourself to traverse. These are, you don't even know if these are actually meant to be tunnels for movement or travel. They could have been used for something entirely different. I mean, you don't know what Bedrove is. No one does. Just that it's a weird table-like structure, except it's like hundreds of meters high. And so with that, that's where you find yourself at the moment. You have just finished vanquishing these undead entities or entities that you thought should have been dead, and instead have this like silvery encompassing things over them, running through their veins, but then bursting out in these little spikes coming out of their bodies. They all have these like technical strange swords, which you did manage to gain a few. Some of them had some other parts you harvested from their bodies as far as ciphers are concerned. Now you've got some choices here. Obviously you still have yet to collect what you need for Benji. and there's the labyrinthine twisting tunnels in front of you. So, the tunnel that you're in does seem to have sort of two main exits that lead in either direction, as well as maybe like a little like wired box to the side. Now you can explore more. If you find stuff or come across stuff, of course you can salvage at any time if you find any technical things to salvage. It's up to you to want to explore, because you've got some stuff you want. So what is it you guys want to do?
Well, I'm a delver, so this is actually my area of expertise. Yeah, I'm going to use a navigation test to try and sort of suss out which way would be the correct way to go, applying a bit of effort. Yeah, because it says when you apply effort to a navigation task because you don't know the way, are lost, are attempting to blaze a new trail, or need to choose between two or more otherwise similar paths, which would be this one, or something very similar, you can apply a free level of effort. So, I guess 2 levels of effort.
Oh, cool. Okay. All right. So this sort of intuit your way, like, even though you don't really have any information on which way would be better to go, it just, you kind of get a gist. You get a little hunch that maybe one way would be better than another.
My internal scanners, which I can barely access.
Before you guys move off, is there anything anyone was doing within this tunnel itself?
I'm definitely trying to look for any kind of parts I can get my hands on. I've got a robot to build.
All right. Well, I did mention that there was a like a little like panel of some kind to the side of the tunnel. Did you want to sort of tinker in it and see if you can salvage anything out of this like sealed panel?
Is it a panel like an electrical panel? Like, does it look like it can function something else?
You think so? It's smaller than you. It does look like it's got hinged and opened. You can easily sort of pry it open, and inside you just see numerous wires and tubes of some kind. Not a lot of it, like, you recognize that they're technology of some kind, or, you know, like past magical artifacts of some kind, Numenera. But I mean, you don't entirely know what they're for or why they're there, but you think if you try hard enough, you might be able to get something out of it.
1950s era vacuum tubes.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd like to like kind of observe it first, just to see like if I can decipher what kind of function it may have had.
Okay.
And then I'd like to take it apart and see what I can get out of it.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so you just want to see, at first you want to study it and see if you can get sort of a glean on how it might be useful in some way.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, go ahead and roll. It's going to be intellect based, and of course it's going to be based off of Numenera knowledge, I think it's called.
Numenera crafting?
Well, if you just want to know, if you just want to suss out...
Oh, Numenera knowledge. Sorry,
yeah, knowledge, yeah.
I see it right here.
Yeah.
The salvaging bit will be crafting.
Any way I can help him out with that? Because I am trained in Numenera
yeah,
knowledge.
if you're trained in it, then go ahead and ease your roll by 1. If he's there sort of like tinkering along with you.
Yeah, I would have been checking this out too with him.
Can I apply a level of effort as well?
You certainly can.
How do I do that on the same sheet here?
Oh, so when you click on the thing to roll, so you're rolling.
Right now I have it eased by 1. Would I just increase that to 2?
So you have effort to. So you've got eased. Where's the difficulty? Eased by 1. So you know, it's, in the basic modifiers, there's effort to ease task.
Yes.
Change that one to 1 as well, because that one's going to cost you points. That one's going to cost from your intellect.
Yeah. And then does my edge apply as well?
It should automatically take edge into account. It's just going to lower the cost of applying of effort by 1.
And do I click roll or pay?
Roll.
Okay.
I don't think we'll ever have a reason to use the pay button unless we like forgot to pay during our roll. Okay, there we go. Oh yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, because that ended up easing it by 2 steps. Perfect. It worked great. And then total cost was 2, which is 3 minus 1 for intellect. So it worked right. We did it right. Yeah, beats difficulty 5, which is A-okay. You, because of it being eased, so you are... You'll never know exactly what it was designed for, but you feel like this is some sort of power routing system, just sort of like a power conduit of some kind. It was probably meant just to act almost like a circuit breaker going along the hallway in one way or another.
Okay.
It channeled the magic energies.
Yeah. As far as you can tell, I mean, there's some things in it that you don't know why they're there or what they do, but as far as you can tell, it's something to do with management of energy.
Okay. And then as far as getting, like, now with that understanding, getting parts out of it?
The salvaging would be the crafting.
Okay.
I can assist with that.
Go ahead. So yeah, you'll get it eased by 1. So yeah, if as long as Max has it trained.
Yeah, and I'll once again spend a level of effort as well.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I'm gonna go a little crazy. I'm gonna spend 2 levels of effort.
Actually, I don't think you can yet.
Oh, okay.
Not yet.
Okay.
No, because your effort score is 1. Until you increase that, you can only apply 1 level of effort.
Ah, I see. Okay. It's all coming back to me now.
Yeah, it's been a while since we did the cipher system, so it's understandable. Beats difficulty 5 again. That's not too bad. Not the greatest roll, but once again, you put the effort into it. You spent what you needed to spend from the intellect, got a little bit of help, and you are a-okay. You're good. It was a small panel. It wasn't a lot to get out of there. You did roll. You put a bit of an effort into it. I'm actually going to increase the amount that was there. You're going to get 2 parts and 1 shin.
2 parts and 1 shin.
And I think you already had parts in your character sheet. You should just be able to increment that.
Yep. Yes.
Yeah.
Was I able to find any pliable metal within that?
No, unfortunately, the parts themselves are just like simple metal bolts and screws and stuff like that. You weren't able to get any special materials out of that particular panel. It was a very simplistic, fairly small panel.
Okay.
All right. And that's probably, you're thinking, all you're going to be able to get out of this. Like, for the most part, you're in an empty hallway. There just happened to be a panel in there that you could take a look at. Hopefully find something in.
Perfect.
All right.
So now, back to our delve and our navigation.
Yeah. Navigation.
So you are going to, you said you're going to apply a level of effort, but then you also get an additional free level of effort. It's eased by 1. Is that how that works?
Yeah.
Let me read it here. We're all getting new to this. Anyone watching being like, oh, it works like this. We're new. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so basically whenever I spend effort on a navigation task, I actually get a free level of effort, so it'd be effort 2 instead of effort 1.
You can, whenever you apply effort, yeah, you can apply a free level of effort. Unless they worded that really badly, you do indeed get an additional level of effort for free. All right, I love it. So yeah, so make sure you ease by 1 and you apply 1 level of effort.
Yep.
But it'll still end up costing you that little bit.
Ease by 1.
Yeah, you have the edge, so it'll still cost you 2 in the end.
Yeah. So I'm just trying to figure out where I'm putting this in here. Do I put it under assets or?
Oh, so you're rolling navigation.
Yep.
Okay, so effort to ease task should be at 1, and then under additional modifiers, if you go down, do difficulty eased by 1.
Okay, so 2 levels.
Well, each of those should be at 1.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah, and then click roll, and it should roll it for you. There you go. That works. Difficulty 6? Yeah. Okay. All right. So you think that you have a good way to go, following the fact that there's some sort of, you don't know if they're power cabling or pipes or veins, you don't even know how this is made, but there's some sort of tubular like structures going throughout the hallway, and they do seem to come out from the middle of the hallway and then lead in a certain direction. So you kind of suss out that maybe that's the best direction to go to. Now let me bring up thing here.
My ghost suggests that we go this way.
Oh. There we go. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I am going to say, you know, I'm going to leave that one. I was thinking of an intrusion, but I think, you know what, let's just get into this. We'll get intrusions and fun stuff in a minute. So you head down the hall and let's see where we're going here. I am going to have, well, Max, you're helping to navigate. So I'm going to have you roll a d6 for me. And then who hasn't done too much here yet? Loud noises. I'm going to, Horatio, I'm going to have you roll a d6 for me as well, please.
6 and 4.
6 and 4. 6 and 4. Okay. And for anyone watching wondering what the hell this is, these are hex maps. I use these for basically any RPG I run, and instead of using percentile tables, I use these. I do this instead. So you'll notice that there's an icon here with numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Each person rolls one number. I get 2 dice, and then it meanders around the map, and then all of that good stuff.
Basically, our games are roguelike.
Yeah, well, it's easier than plotting out like an entire dungeon or ruin, especially in Numenera, where like the dungeons can be super expansive. Like it could, like your people still have not explored all of the ruins of Bedrove. So it just works out way better.
I absolutely love that system, by the way, the hexagon.
Yeah, it's a little more interesting, and I think and fun than just a table.
Well, I mean, on Bedrove, 90% of the houses are empty. The buildings are just absolutely empty, and that's just on top of the whole plateau table. Not to mention all the caverns and stuff that we're in underneath.
Yeah, it did mention in the description that it's not exactly the most populated town.
It's only got like 1,000 people.
For good reason. I mean, although very, very defensible, I mean, it is not easy to get up and down. Like, you're living at the top of this like hard to get to cliff, which it's kind of a give or take, double-edged sword there. So let's go in here.
I mean, it's a bit easier for me personally, but I can only levitate myself, not other people yet. So
okay, so we're gonna get into, yeah, we'll get into there first. This is a weird one. No, let's do this one. All right, so you get into a circular chamber, sort of a cylinder, basically. It's about 5 meters tall with a 30-meter diameter.
Okay.
The hallways that you exit basically there's these triangles. How many exits are? It looks like there's 2 more exits aside from the one that you just entered in. So there's 3 exits in total from this room. There's 2 more exits from this room. One is another open triangular exit, just like you came in. And another one seems to be a large metallic sealed door, round door of some kind, or portal, or maybe it's just an end cap. You're not entirely sure. I mean, it could just be an exhaust pipe for all you know, but it could be a big sealed vault door for all you know as well. In the center of this cylindrical room, this circular room, is some sort of raised pool of some kind that takes up a good portion of the middle of it. It's probably, you'd say, about 10 meters in diameter. And in this pool is some sort of, and there's gentle waves to it, some sort of liquid metal of some kind. It almost looks like a pool of mercury.
How far down is that?
Or
is it on the same level as us?
No, it's in the same level. Although it does slope down a little bit as you enter the room, maybe less than a meter, like half a meter. It's not that far below you, and the pool itself actually it raises up a little bit, like there's a bit of a lip, say around 30 centimeters above the ground, where the lip ends.
Okay. Yeah, Lance is gonna walk up to the pool and like just take like the rock on the end of his stick and just kind of like touch it a little bit.
Okay. You do that and it gets covered in this like liquid metal. And as you take it out, you're looking at it and sort of it starts to run down the end of your rock club thing a little bit, but then it slows. And then it just stops, and you realize that the metal has quickly hardened.
Ooh. I'm gonna coat the rest of my rock in it.
Yeah, it's a lot heavier now, but it seems to be coated in some sort of metal of some kind, and it's like fully hard.
Turn to the rest of the group. I got a magic hammer now.
Fascinating.
Or isn't that just rest?
We were supposed to find some sort of source, I suspect.
Is this some sort of iotum, perhaps? Charlie?
Come here, Gumball. I want to see what it does to a robot.
Do you need help?
Lance will actually like walk over and like grab Gumball and start slowly dragging him over.
I'll grab the other leg.
What is it when you stick someone's face into a toilet like they do in like the TV shows in like high school? Swirly.
Please desist.
I don't know what that means.
Close action.
Does that mean hurry? Okay. Start hustling.
So, would this count as would this be synth steel? Numenera knowledge?
Oh.
You can roll in. Yeah, you can try a Numenera knowledge if you like. Go ahead and roll an intellect. It'd be intellect based for me.
I'm gonna spend some effort to ease this.
Okay.
Not the greatest roll ever. We can't seem to roll in this system.
You guys,
we were killing it last session.
Yeah, last session you guys were rolling. I was rolling, or no, you when you were rolling against me, you were rolling really good.
Yeah.
And when okay. That is still good enough because you did ease it a bit. So difficulty 4, that's enough. You think, and you probably have to double check with Charlie about this, just because Charlie would be the one that would definitely have the most knowledge about the specific properties of this stuff, but going back and forth and whatnot, you definitely rack your brain and you're like, yeah, this I mean, it's synth steel of some kind. You're pretty sure. You check out the hardness, you go over and you get Lance's little club thing and kind of tap it and check its properties, and you think that this, whatever this pool is, could be a good source of synth steel.
Excellent.
Yeah, how do we get it out of here?
He never mentioned you had to get it back to him, just that you had to find a source.
Yeah. That was about to be my next point. He never said we had to get it to him. We just had to find one.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can. I mean, I'm sure we can put a map together and mark it out.
I'm already composing one internally.
Max, are you mapping where we've been so that we know how to get back, so that if we go back, we know how to get here?
Yeah.
All right, I won't dunk the robot. He needs our map. Just kind of put Max down.
That's a good plan.
Wait, we're not talking the robot?
I guess
We're not.
I don't think Charlie would like us breaking her stuff.
This is not a one-shot. We're on episode 2 of an actual campaign.
Yeah.
What'd you say, Ebony?
Well, especially if we need him to get back. If we need the robot to get home, not a good idea to mess him up.
If we coated him in metal, he'd be stronger.
And slower.
I do believe that my mobility would approach 0, given the hardness of the synth steel once it coalesces and hardens.
What?
Oh,
I would become petrified.
What?
I know,
I know.
he didn't come with the dictionary.
you gotta
What?
fix your robot there, Charlie. He's saying weird things. He's
Yeah, I
like a
don't know.
different language.
I've
I
always
become
thought he
like
was a
a
bit of a dick,
statue.
but I don't know what
I would
Shinari
not
is.
be able- I'd not be able to move.
Oh.
Speaking of movement, there are 2 other exits, and one of them does appear to be a vault-like door structure.
Come again?
There's a big door there.
Let's go open it. I got this.
I'd like
I'm gonna
to
hustle
behind
over
that.
and start opening the door.
Yeah, speaking of which, how in this room, how do you get to the different doors?
You can
It's
just
like
walk around. The room is mostly empty. It's just a big cylindrical room.
okay.
It just has a little pool thing in the center of it. So the room's about 30 meters across. The pool is about 10 meters across in the dead center of the room. And there's just 3 exits. The one you came in from, another triangular exit similar to what you came in from, and then that big round door.
By the way,
I
Mr.
gotta
DM, sir,
parkour.
Yeah.
Okay.
is this like liquid metal stuff? Anything similar to what we saw come out of those like automatons we fought earlier?
It does. It looks similar. I mean, it's got that sort of silvery mercury style hue to it, like or lack of hue. I mean, you don't know the specifics of the property. You might have to have, like, probably Charlie, maybe with help with Cyrus or something, like test it to figure out if it's the same thing. It looks pretty similar.
Okay.
And just to remind everybody what those things you dealt with last time looked alike. There were these decaying corpses that had this like weird metallic things running through its veins that would actually like erupt from its body.
Hex zombies!
Yeah.
So I'm gonna parkour my way over to that circular door and start cranking on it.
Okay. All right.
I mean, apparently you don't have to parkour over there, but...
So you just want to start giving her on the door, do you?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
That's
all
a
right.
secret. Horatio parkours everywhere.
Yeah, there's really not
Flat
a time to
plane
not parkour. If it's perfectly flat, there's going to be tumbling, rolls, somersaults, and handsprings involved. So don't you worry.
Are there any markings on this door?
Oh, I'll give it some.
There does not appear to be any markings on it. No.
Okay.
So describe to me how you're opening this. It looks like a fairly featureless round, almost like end cap. You're not sure, maybe door that's just in this round hall or something.
Well, I guess I'll first just try to push on it from one edge, and if that doesn't seem to work, I'll try to rotate it a little bit.
Okay. I'm gonna get you to roll a might check for me.
Okay. I will apply a effort, because why not?
Sure.
How do I do that again? Eased by... No.
The additional modifiers.
Yeah, additional
No.
modifiers. Difficult.
Wait, and then I put in... Okay, so I'm going to put in a number here, or do I just say...
Oh, no, sorry. Under basic modifiers, effort to ease task, and then select that as 1.
There we go. 1 level of effort.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then you roll.
Ooh, that's a good roll.
Finally, a decent
That's
roll.
so far.
Okay. It is enough that you shake it a bit, enough that you can tell that it is something that could possibly move. However, there seems to, as you go to move it, it's almost like through monumental, almost Herculean strength, you shift it just that little bit, and then it's like something pushes back against it, and it slides back into place. You barely moved it a centimeter.
I would like to basically scan the area around using my awareness to see if there is a switch or something hidden, perhaps, that may open this door.
Sure. Okay. Go ahead and roll an intellect roll for me then.
I am trained in awareness.
Do it.
Yeah, and you said intellect, right?
Yeah, it's intellect based.
So yeah, I will put in one level of effort.
Okay. Ooh. So it's a good thing you did.
Yeah.
Too much gum in the eye.
Too much gum in the eye. Okay. So
Not the pepper robot.
Yeah. So yeah, beats difficulty 2. You're not too sure. You don't see anything in this room. There doesn't appear to be any panels or buttons or interfaces of any kind. In fact, in general, you've noticed that's kind of a theme throughout here. There doesn't seem to be a lot of interfaces of any kind throughout this in these entire ruins. You don't know if they're hidden, or the designers didn't need them, or like this isn't a place people are supposed to be walking through, or what.
Okay.
It's clearly the door's fault. Something's wrong with the door. It's not me. I'm gonna get down on my back and start doing crunches.
Okay. Now the door, brute strength did not seem to work on the door, but I mean, you've got several technical people in the group that could probably take a crack at it.
I can have a look.
I mean, I've got one idea.
Well, Charlie, you mentioned first you could have a look at it. Did you want to? Yeah. Do you want to take a peek? Take a little peek.
Let's take a little peek, see what we can see.
Okay, go ahead. We'll make this intellect Numenera crafting, because you're actually physically tinkering with it.
I will assist.
Yep, I'll give that, so you get to ease it by an additional level.
Ease it by 1. Still got a big ol'. I got a bunch of intellect points. I'll throw some effort in there.
You guys.
Oh my goodness.
Your rolls.
At least.
You feel like you're in the right direction. I'm gonna give you enough that you think you realize that this whatever it is, end cap, vault door, something like this, seems to be magnetically held in place, or at least you think it's magnetically held in place. Some sort of force like that. But try as you might, you didn't quite find a way to stop it.
Can I? Oh, it's a door, right?
It is as far as it can act like a door.
I'm reminded of like a Fallout style vault door.
Can I try using my electrical detonation cipher on it?
Okay. You know what?
Reversing the polarity.
That was my backup plan.
You know what?
Oh boy.
Let's give it a try. Let's do this.
My shoes are rubber.
Yeah, I'm going to so you'll consume the cipher, and I think instead of making this like a speed check or anything like that for like throwing it or whatnot, we'll make this another intellect check.
Okay.
Because you're applying it more like a tool than you are a weapon.
Bringing it.
Yeah.
Do you still need me to roll the type of damage, or?
Don't bother with damage. We're just going to consume it. I'm going to allow it to be a tool. Roll an intellect. I'm going to give you 1 free level of easement on it. So go ahead and ease it by a level.
Which one do I roll?
Wait a minute.
Intellect?
Wait a minute. 1 second. What level was the detonation that you had?
6.
6? We'll ease it by 2 levels, actually.
Okay. Sorry. When you say, so I can roll just raw intellect.
You can roll a raw intellect, yeah.
Okay, so ease by 2?
Ease by 2, yeah.
Is it possible to assist?
In this particular case, I'm going to say yes. You know what? Ease it by 3.
Ease it by 3, and I am once again going to apply a level of effort.
Okay.
Come
I was
on,
going to say
baby.
no, but since you are applying it as a tool and you have someone else with sort of knowledge of this shit, yeah, why not?
Why? Fucking, I don't understand.
Thankfully, you got what you needed. You needed 5.
Oh god.
Good lord.
Ooh. You're like
statistically, this shouldn't be possible.
you're just having an off day. Last week, you guys rolled like fucking mega good. This week, just I guess karma's like fuck you.
Correction.
Yeah, we
last
blew
week
all
we,
our good luck.
Yeah.
correction. Last week we rolled really good while trying to kill you. All our other rolls sucked.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Which one of you spent the last week kicking puppies? Come on, fess up.
But you still got it. So there's this like discharge, and then you hear a like a pew, and then a click, and the whole thing actually starts to slowly fall forward towards you guys. No roll necessary or anything. It's such a slow fall, you're able to just sort of step out of the way. But this door that's probably a good almost 60 centimeters thick of some sort of a metallic, like a dark metal of some kind, just slams onto the ground.
I would be deafeningly loud in this room.
Yeah. I am very glad that I didn't actually waste my X-ray viewer spike on that. Or cipher on that.
And for any of our freedom citizens in the channel, 60 centimeters would be, isn't that about 2 feet?
About that.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's 2 rulers.
We're using metric for this campaign, but I'll try every once in a while to be like, it would be this in freedom units.
Merc.
Wait, it slid into the wall or
No,
out of
it came towards you guys. Like, and then you realize it was because it was like recessed, like it was inset, and the tunnel itself was smaller than the door per se. It was more of a circular end cap than a door, you kind of realize at this point. Like it didn't have hinges or anything like that. It was just Magnus was holding on this end cap.
So it's now detached from the wall.
Yes, it's now laying on the floor.
So it's not going to close behind us.
No.
Okay.
You hope. I mean, magnets could turn back on, maybe.
Magnets,
So
bro,
I
how do
just
they
checked
work?
the X-ray viewer
Magic.
cipher. If it's 60 centimeters, I would have exactly been able to see past it. Because it's 2 feet, 60 centimeters of material.
Does
I
that
can see
encompass lead?
Oh.
That's the thing. It doesn't say.
I'm going to assume this is lead.
Actually, that doesn't specify with that cipher. It's called X-ray, but really it's just like you can just see through X amount
It
of
probably
stuff.
wasn't lead because it's magnetic.
That's true. Yeah, it would have been probably a ferrous material of some kind.
Yeah.
Not that your characters would know that, but us as the players, it's good to know this shit.
Yeah.
Magic.
Magic.
This may have a magic material.
Yep.
My hammer's magical now.
So that means you guys can. So now that you've opened the door, I'm assuming you're just going to ignore it and go down the other triangular hallway.
Correct.
Obviously.
Got it.
Just gonna step up onto the 2-foot platform that is now in front of me and just continue on my way.
So what do you guys actually want to do? Are you heading down this like circular hallway now?
Yep.
Yeah, the one that was blocked by the door.
Okay.
Yeah, it had to have something. It had to be something important back here.
All right.
Big door.
Okay. So, going in, it's a tiny room actually. So there's a circular hallway. It's small enough that the largest for you actually you need to sort of crouch and stoop a little bit as you walk down it. You kind of have to do a little bit of a shuffle walk. You're not completely bent over, but it's uncomfortably small for the taller of you. So like Hawk, Horatio, and Lance, I forget how high Max is, but Hawk, Horatio, and Lance for sure. It's not a comfortable space.
I'm a bit on the tall side.
Fuck.
I'm only about 5. I'm only about 5'9".
Oh, okay. Oh, that just makes your proportions that much better.
It makes my muscles look bigger.
You're like a Wolverine build.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to spend a point of intellect, and I'm going to hover forward with my legs crossed. So, sort of like a guru or a yogi.
Oh, cool.
Basically just, half my profile, essentially.
Well, your
Fancy,
thing is
but
that you deal with gravity. So.
Fancy, but you get no gains from that. I'm gonna flip into like a crab walk and do that the whole way down.
I mean, I'm mechanical in nature. I do not gain gains anyways.
Oh, you don't know. You don't
You're
know
not
that.
trying hard enough.
Yeah, start working out and eating right. You'll find differences.
The only way he can gain gains is if he
just
butters Charlie up a little bit to give him parts.
Stop eating all those gumballs and try to hit the gym a little bit.
What are these gumballs you keep on talking about?
He's gonna Lance is gonna poke you in the eye. That.
Oh, jeez.
It
That is a
doesn't do
gumball.
anything.
At least it doesn't
There's
hurt.
a pinking sound. As you touch against my ocular sensor, there's like a ping sound, and that's it. So yeah, I float softly in the air. If I concentrate, I can control my movement to remain motionless in the air or float up a short distance as an action. Otherwise, you drift with the wind or any other momentum you have gained.
Okay. Well, I mean, you're sort of
And
concentrating with your action to sort of move forward very slowly then.
Lasts up to 10 minutes.
I mean, they're not moving super quickly. Maybe Horatio a little bit because he's like trying to crab walk ahead. And yeah, so you're just kind of like hovering in the middle of the pipe, just like slowly moving down it. It's completely still air. There's no airflow whatsoever. It's a very, as I described last time, it's a very like old musty smell to it. Has like almost a coppery metallic hint to the smell of the air, but that's about it. But there's no airflow.
I'll just put a hand on someone's shoulder, and then they can just sort of weightlessly behind them, just sort of get them to pull me along. And that way I don't have to actually concentrate on the movement part.
Yeah, because you basically weigh nothing, because it's through controlling gravity that you're doing this. That makes sense.
Yep.
Okay. So you kind of tow yourself along. No problem. Yep. It's a relatively short hallway, like considering how massive some of the hallways you've gone down are. Like some of them extend a good amount. A couple of them have extended like easily like over 100 meters or like 100 plus meters, things like that. This one doesn't. It actually extends maybe another 25-30 meters. Which compared to the rest is relatively short. It's actually about the same distance as the width of the last room you were in. And it opens up into a somewhat smaller room. It is a cube, 5 by 5 by 5 meters. And inside the cube are all these large tubes and pipes and everything sort of wrapping around. They seem to exit from the wall in various places and sort of wrap around until it gets to this sort of oblong pod that's giving this faint thrumming sound in the center of the room.
I'm going to just take a moment to clear my cache and reset my files. So basically, I'm just going to use one action to heal my intellect. Okay. I'm down to 9 points.
Right, that's the one thing you can actually heal.
Yep.
Lance is going to nudge Charlie and be like,
oh, sweet. I'm back up to full.
Oh. You're gonna nudge Charlie and what?
So he's gonna nudge Charlie and be like, want me to break that? There might be something in it.
Break
the pod thingy.
I mean, can we try to open it without breaking it?
Yeah,
The pod itself might be
all right.
Let's hold off on breaking for now.
Kind of reminds me of a big heart. Fuck.
I'm going to just gently push off someone and float into the room, just scanning around to see if there's any, dangers or something shiny.
Now the hallway that or corridor, whatever pipe, whatever you're coming out of, that enters this cube does seem to enter in the very center of like the 5 meter by 5 meter wall. So there's a little bit of a lip below it. And
well, it's a good thing I'm hovering.
yeah, so it's not like a big drop or anything. It's just there is a bit of a lip. And you hover in the center of the room. Now, before we do the scans, one thing you do feel is there's definitely a greater like air pressure in this room, and you can feel the vibration running through you. There's the resonant thrumming that you could hear from the hall. You can feel the components inside of you sort of shaking and tremoring just a little bit.
There appears to be some sort of gravitic or energetic disturbance. And yeah, I'm also going to ease it by 1 since I just refreshed. So, hot diggity.
Oh, okay.
Minor effect.
Huzzah!
So apparently, turning things off and on again was the right way to go.
Yeah. Beats difficulty 8 just to peer around the room and whatnot. Okay, all right.
That minor effect.
Here, let's do a thing here. I forgot to make it a little easier on myself. So we have your icons out. We're not actually doing combat right now, but just so we have the icons out. So, as you're in the room, you're peering about. You've got all your sensors open to max, just to try and get as much information from this as possible, which is why I would like to propose an intrusion to max. Something to do with your sensors. Would you like to refuse and pay an experience point, or would you like to accept and gain an experience point on my intrusion?
Always accept.
All right, go ahead in the chat there. You should be able to click. Oh, I had it on set on private GM roll. Let's try this against, well, not set on private GM roll. Okay, there we go. Now you should be able to see the message to accept or refuse in the chat.
Yeah.
I actually saw it the first time.
Same.
Oh, you did see it the first time?
Yep.
Oh, okay. I guess it doesn't pop up as an actual like chat message per se. Okay.
Who to give this to? Because Charlie and Cyrus already have 1 each, right? For the additional XP?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? Let's go Flannery.
All right. So Max is gonna get 1 in Flannery.
Apparently autopilot, I think.
And I think it automatically gives you the XP when you click accept. Oh, and gives the additional Flannery. Oh, I see. When you click it, you get to choose. Oh man, there's I love Foundry. It does that shit for us.
We actually just went from 1 to 2, so
that's awesome. So yeah, you guys automatically should have gained the experience for it. Yes, you did. Perfect. So in this case, despite the quality of your roll, and you're still going to get the information, but it is going to have some ramifications. So you can tell that all of these tubes and whatever's running through them, whatever sort of energy and plasma and everything like that, does seem to be heading towards this oblong pod thing in the center of the room. Scanning it as best as you can, as far as you can tell, the pod itself isn't empty. It's a device of some kind in its own right. And it does seem to be doing something to the physical matter around it. You can already tell that even the air around it, when it hits it, seems to be almost condensing. As you get closer, they didn't notice it from the hallway, but when you get closer, you realize the air around it almost condensed to it and begins to drip down as liquid air, basically, separating, of course. So you've got your liquid oxygen and nitrogen and everything like that actually running down the, like, almost like a slick coating over this pod.
Oh my, this thing got its own gravity well?
You're not entirely sure.
Oh my god, that's
I will give Max, however, since gravity is kind of your thing, you will understand it doesn't actually seem to be gravity per se. Even though it seems to be condensing the air around it. It doesn't actually seem to be gravity based. However, it is giving off such a strong amount of electromagnetic interference that it just slams you back into the hallway, partly physically, but a lot of it is just you slamming yourself back, as it's such a large mental jolt to you that it almost sort of short circuits some of your subsystems or whatever. So you're going to take 4 might as a result.
4 might. Ooh.
Gumballs hurt. Lance is gonna walk over, just like pick him back up onto his feet.
Damage sustained. Massive EM interference. Detected. Subsystems.
Try that again in dumb bumpkin talk.
There is a processing, translating, sort of a thunderstorm effect going on in the center around the pod. It is basically taking the air and turning it into different types of water. It's a transmutation effect.
Lance walked away at this point.
Okay.
It is a very, very powerful device, whatever purpose it is.
How could that be useful?
Well, that is a good question. I mean, it turns air, breaks it apart, and puts it into separate liquid components, from what it looks like.
Does it affect the city above us?
I assume that if it affected the city, since it's been running this entire time, as far as I can tell, that it would have already been in effect. If we have not noticed an effect on the city, then it must assuredly be doing what it's supposed to be doing. I can only process it as conjecture, though, as I am not familiar with the device itself. My memory files are unfortunately degraded in that regard. Charlie? Cyrus?
But it's clear that this Numenera is emanating a powerful magical energy. Its purpose can only remain a mystery to the likes of us. Who knows what mind created this thing?
So you're saying it's juju and we should leave?
Oh, I'm not juju.
I'm a nano. Everything's juju.
Bad juju.
I didn't say that. Powerful.
Definitely
juju.
powerful. Yes. It shorted out my systems, and that is why I was sent back.
And
Are
Charlie,
we leaving it alone, or are we going to break it?
Charlie, without needing a roll, you can already see that the stuff that's inside is definitely a treasure trove of salvage, assuming you don't fuck it up royally somehow.
With how our dice have been this night, do you want to chance it?
Yes, I want to chance it.
All right.
I don't think I only have one recipe for the stuff that I have right now, and it's the robot. It's the only thing I really want parts for right now.
Are you trying to replace me?
Yes.
He's trying to make a better one that actually follows commands.
Ouch. All right. Well, in that case, I would suggest that we find a way to, if we're going to salvage this room, we find a way to turn that off safely first.
As soon as you say turn it off, Lance picks up his hammer and you're like, safely. Like, oh.
Yeah, safely. In a controlled fashion. It is a large, condensed, as Cyrus said, powerful juju.
Would a bow and arrow work? Is that safely?
You should probably avoid doing damage to it.
Oh. Well,
right.
I'm out.
How is
Lance,
this? Is it possible that this is connected to the pool we just came from?
The synth steel? Possibly.
Yeah, I mean, like that stuff that turned Hammer Boy's hammer into a metal hammer.
Yes.
That, it must have something to do with that.
I don't know about that.
Cyrus's curiosity is getting the better of him. He knows how this responded to, another like Numenera. I wonder how this is going to respond to a person approaching. So Cyrus is going to approach it.
Okay. So you crawl into the room.
Lance will be right behind you.
And the room, the entire inside of the room is covered in pipes and tubes and everything. So as you crawl in, and there's a bit of a lip down, you kind of have to sort of like step down, lower yourself down just a little bit, and you're standing on a series of tubes. So it's a little awkward, like your ankles kind of want to like bend a bit to the side and stuff, but you're able to balance yourself no problem. It's not like you can fall between them. They're all very firmly set. Yeah, they're like
But
the
it's
internet.
not slippy.
It's not slippy, no. You enter the
Not a
room.
road, it's a...
You
Sorry.
went. No worries. You guys first. It's a role-playing situation. But you enter the room, and you can definitely eat like you're human. You're biological. You're not like your friend Max there, who's a glorified toaster. You are a person, and you can still feel pressure in the room and a vibration in your chest. Like, when you're standing near, like, you ever go to like a concert and you like were sat or stood too near like the speakers, and you can feel it. It's almost like it makes you want to cough, like you lose your breath a little bit. The vibration that you feel, but yet you don't hear much like this. You're figuring that whatever is happening here is probably in the subsonic. Not that your character knows that, but to describe it to you, Alec, it's probably in the subsonic, so you're definitely feeling it more than you're hearing it.
The brown note.
Brown tone.
Brr, oh, poop my pants. Not thankfully, no, but it is definitely in that lower region where you're feeling it in your bones, you're feeling it in your heart, you're feeling it in your lungs. Like it's jostling it around. It gives you that you want to like cough it out type of thing. And other than that, it's a pressure, but everything seems to be stable. When you get close enough, now that it's been described to you, you can kind of see it almost looks like it's sweating. There is the bit of a sheen, a liquid sort of dripping off of it, and it drips down onto the pipes below and sort of filters through. You see some of the tubes and pipes they've not rusted. You don't know what they're made out of, but they've corroded a little bit over time as this liquid has dripped on them.
10,000-year Chinese water torture.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it's not causing you any overdue, like any really bad situations going on.
Okay, so it's just kind of uncomfortable to be around it. It's not straight up going blam at the actual fleshies.
It's not hurting you.
The robot.
Yeah.
Like, it's not the most pleasant thing to be around, but it's, it's not causing physical harm. Okay, I guess I'll inspect it a bit, see if I can find, I don't know, an off switch.
Okay.
Or something to turn off this.
Okay, so this would be an intellect roll. Numenera crafting would apply if you're trained or specialized.
Applying remote motivation. Go team.
All right.
With that notification of go team, Horatio's gonna run over, flip his feet on one of the tubes, and start doing sit-ups upside down, inverted.
I'm gonna spend.
I got
I was
this.
about to say, to Horatio, this entire thing is basically just a giant monkey bar gym.
Yeah, really.
Tubes and like that is nice.
Difficulty 4, unfortunately, doesn't seem to quite cut it. You're starting to get sort of a beat on how these tubes work. You think you know which one may be some sort of the main you don't know if power source is the right word, whether it's running on some sort of material being pumped into it or what. But you're not entirely sure how to disable it per se. Not without possibly damaging it.
Have you tried lifting it?
I'm not that strong.
Just pick it up, and then put it down, and then pick it up again.
The pod itself, which is, like I said, it's a smooth oblong shape, is itself probably almost the size of a person.
How many Cyrus talls is it?
It's you'd say it's probably a little over. Say it's like a little like over a meter tall, like 1.2 meters approximately. And then
Max is
fairly round as well.
The pod
Max
itself.
is going to review the visual data in their mind from before they got hit with a pulse, and just see if there was anything they picked up while in there that could be sort of the thing that Cyrus needs to look for.
Okay, well, you did roll really well. So I will give it that you sort of mapping it out in your mind. If someone's going to try and disable it again with that information that you give them, I'll let them ease the task by one.
Yeah. And I will start basically sprouting off the information.
So whether it's Cyrus or Charlie or whatever does it.
Now that we're closer to this pod, like the pod itself, is it opaque or is it like?
It seems to be opaque. It's a silvery in hue. The tubes themselves are a dull, dark gray, whereas the pod itself is not a mirrored finish per se, but it is a lot more like a lighter burnished steel, or like a brushed steel.
Charlie, Cyrus, you are looking for and then I just start sprouting off essentially what essentially what my scanners picked up.
Okay.
Lance, do we need to pick this up?
Let the brainy ones figure it out first. If not, then we'll pull it out of here.
Let me know. Anybody got any chalk?
Yeah, actually. Reach in and pull out like a small thing of chalk.
All right. Now I'm gonna start doing some one-armed pull-ups.
Okay.
So yeah, if anyone's going to do the Numenera crafting again, I can now help you from afar.
Well, I've tried and failed. I'm gonna assume it's beyond my knowledge and understanding.
Beyond your ken.
Yes.
So I'm gonna assume that's Charlie then.
Difficulty 5.
Yeah, and he added the ease already. Perfect. 5. Yeah, that is what you needed. Despite the roll that you still got it, that is what you needed. Thankfully, the help of Max is able to get it for you. So you're able to. What you do is you're able to find. It's not a shut off necessarily, but you're able to find a way to stop the flow of whatever is being pumped into this thing that is causing it to work, and you're able to turn it off. Also, at one point, no, you know what? I'm not giving it to you. Yeah, you're able to turn it off. It's off. Instantly, there's a sort of a whoosh of air as the condensed liquefied air that was on it regasifies and becomes air again. And it does no longer, and the thrumming that's in the room is no longer there. It's almost deafeningly quiet now.
Yeah, that's fucking weird.
I'm going to hesitantly a bit just sort of push myself back off into the room.
Okay. Yeah, you should be fine.
Just to make sure that... Yeah. And I'm also going to point at the... with my weight measuring finger, I'm going to actually point at the center object and get its weight.
Oh yeah, because you can just measure its weight. Okay, the central object, its weight, it would be heavy. It's almost the size of a person and it's solid metal. Well, not solid, but there's a lot of metal in it. That'd be fucking heavy.
At least a ton?
That's its weight. Fucking heavy.
Okay.
You are most likely better off dismantling it or salvaging parts from it rather than trying to take the entire thing.
Instead of taking the central pod, which is of a weight that exceeds the capacity.
No, don't say he can't do it and he's going to want to do it.
I would instead suggest that we salvage the surrounding parts and pipes.
Okay.
No, I need these pipes up here. How am I going to hang from them if we take them down?
Take them with you.
I mean, exactly.
I have a terrible feeling that this means that there's going to have an effect on the city above us. Either they're not going to be able to breathe, or the toilets aren't going to flush, or water's not going to come out of the tap. Something is going to affect the city above us because you turned it off.
Well,
You mean our one tap isn't going to work?
If that is the case, then we can just come back down and repair it.
I'm going to be perfectly honest with you, Flannery. I'm willing to take that chance to get my robot.
Okay. Selfish bastard. That works.
All right.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, leave it to our kind of a party to like break the town that we live in.
Cad.
When we first on.
Yeah, what up?
Rough estimate on
the
like
last.
the weight of the heart, the pod.
Well, like I told Max, because that's what he was weighing before. Fuck ton.
Okay.
Yeah.
1 metric fuck ton.
Metric or a period? Okay. Metric fuck ton.
1 metric fuck ton.
Yeah, Horatio starts doing some serious stretching. Give me a minute. We'll get this. He's like starts touching his toes and kind of getting limber.
Yeah. The material appears to be some sort of hyperdense metallic.
Look, if you
What?
idiots try to pick that up, I'm not fucking carrying you to the surface.
What?
Not to mention the difficulties in moving it through the close quarters that we just came through.
Hawk, the three of us can lift it. Come on, Lance.
I'm not helping.
What do you mean?
Or the triangular hallways.
Well, I have
Not my job.
a doodad that might make it a little easier. And he pulls out a little, like, almost like a little mechanical thing that has like a button on it. You know, this makes things lighter.
Oh shit!
And he's got to pull out his cipher, the gravity nullifier.
Oh, I forgot he had that son of a bitch. Yeah.
And it's level 7, so it can reduce the weight by 350 pounds for 1 hour.
User. Yeah, I'd allow it to be used for that. It's not exactly how it works, but fuck it, I'd allow it. I'd allow you to use it for that. Basically, you're helping to lessen the gravity of the object. And
Perhaps then we should. Oh, sorry.
No. I would say it lasts for an hour.
To move it.
Yeah.
Perhaps then we should wait until we're ready to make the leave. If the
Oh yeah, no. You guys do what you can. You salvage what you can, and we'll try this.
What do you call it? Do you call that thing a lighter?
Yeah.
Oh man, I'd love to use a lighter to lift mountains with that thing.
Numenera crafting for the salvage, I guess.
It is Numenera crafting for the salvage. That is correct.
All right, and I think as a 12, if memory serves. Oh no, it's not that. That's fine. Yeah, that's only for community checks that I get bonuses to.
Yeah, your right is better at it than the delve, but
Yeah.
I'm on it.
This is Charlie's wheelhouse.
I'm assuming somebody is helping.
Yeah.
Safe to assume. Pretty much always safe to assume.
looks like Max is.
Oh, thank God!
Hey.
I can roll over a 10.
Boy.
Oh snap!
Well,
Hallelujah!
a really good one too. Minor effect. You are gonna earn a little extra out of that. Pretty good.
Yes.
Please.
Okay. You're gonna earn a little extra out of that as a result. Okay. So here's the thing. You are off the bat. From this is disassembling all of like the tubes and stuff and fixings and everything from around the sphere or the oblong pod. You're going to be able to get 10 shins and 12 parts.
Damn.
10 shins
Oh,
and 12
damn, you found
parts.
some shinies?
And if you... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Because I'm not taking all of that. I want to split that between the parties.
You guys should have a party pot now if you look in the actors tab. I was just going to say use the level in the upper right corner beside the title for party pot. Just use that for the shins. There you go. Yeah, if you just want to do it as like that's your group stuff. Since we're not keeping like it's not like it's a post-apocalyptic game where we got to keep very strict track of all of our stuff. I'm being a little more loosey-goosey with Numenera. Not too worried about it too much, so I just gave you a party pot if you want shared shit.
I was about to say the setting for Numenera is post-apocalyptic. So
okay, how many parts?
12 parts.
Holy fuck.
Yeah.
Just two more than we need.
You just rolled really good, so I gave you extra.
Okay, so that's 23 parts.
Now this is just from the fixings of like undoing all of the other shit in here. You check out the pod itself. You think, or you'll already know because you made the check for it, and I would give it to you if you wanted to. If you take apart the pod, I will give you 6 IO and 4 thom dust.
Oh fuck!
If we take it apart,
you take it apart.
Nope. Do we see a purpose in keeping this thing whole?
I just figure you want to get it out of here and back to your shop so you can safely dismantle it.
Now to explain thom dust, like IO is just like the basic Numenera crafting part. That's the Numenera crafting part. There's not too much special with it. Thom dust, however, to give you guys a little, is a super awesome one. You actually rolled really good for this. It's considered like a level 6 crafting material. It comes in very small amounts, so you're getting 4. So each unit of it is about 200 grams.
Wow.
And it's a sparkling dust-like material, which is sometimes visible and sometimes invisible, sort of phases in and out. And usually salvaged within clear synth receptacles of some kind. When used as an additional component as part of the crafting task, like if it's not a needed point, every 2 units of thom dust reduces the craft time by half. In addition, 1 unit of thom dust can be used as part of another action to gain to consume it to gain an additional action. For a total of 2 actions on the round the thom dust is used. However, this burst of quickened time inflicts 3 points of speed damage, which ignores armor on the character, and uses a unit of thom dust. So it's basically cocaine.
Magical
Horatio near it.
Wow. Okay. So sorry. Yeah. I mean, obviously, if the intention is to bring it back to my lab to take apart anyway, and I can just harvest that here, there's no point in taking it if I can just harvest it here.
Yeah, if you could do it here, that's fine.
Yeah. So sorry. That was how much IO?
Okay, so 6 IO.
Okay. And sorry, I'm dragging over the thom dust right now.
You get 4 of the thom dust.
4. Oh, you can only move between 1 and 1 units. Then why even make me the fucking offer? Okay. Do we find anything else, or is that?
No, that's what you would get in here.
That was the pod. Okay.
That was, yeah. However, bringing up the quest log, he needed 10 parts and 5 IO, so you can easily finish off everything he needs with what you just found.
Okay.
Between going the right way, doing what you need to do, and some lucky rolls, you guys got your shit pretty quickly.
Well, I thought. Sorry, we're giving him the parts and the knowledge of the synth steel.
He needed a source of synth steel, 10 parts, and 5 IO. That was what he needed.
Okay.
Well, I think we found pretty much all of that. Found a source of synth steel, that pool back there.
Is there a way? Could we backtrack and grab a little bit of that synth steel? Like, is there?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of a way to contain it.
I was saying, like, once it touches something, it gets
hard.
rock hard.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I can melt it down later. That's not a problem.
Yeah, it's still synth steel. It needs to be worked in the normal manner afterwards, which is it's harder to forge with than regular steel.
Okay,
It's pretty dense.
I'm going to take off my boots and fill them with the synth steel.
Love it.
I imagine you're just going to be cutting your boots apart and you're going to have like synth steel boot imprints.
So let's see.
Molding.
1 unit is about 4 kilograms, aka 9 pounds in the Freedom unit. I would say your boots you could fit. What do you think's a fair amount? Like 4 units of synth steel?
Each or per boot?
I was thinking in total, but you know what? That doesn't seem like enough because it's heavy, right? You can fit a fair amount in, but I would say 6. I'm going to give you 6.
Okay.
6 units of synth steel. I'm feeling nice today.
Awesome.
You know, just like I mean, steel boots. Well, I mean, on the ends. Well, I guess it would be coating the boot too, but
probably like a liter each. You think about volume there?
I guess so.
I'd say about a liter. Think about the big pints of beer that are like shaped like a boot.
Well, yeah,
those are like a liter.
Can you show them my picture?
Baby boot.
Yeah. Here, let me bring up your picture.
Yeah, they're a little smaller, but I don't think
you get a better idea of the boots because they ride.
Oh, they're like thigh or not thigh boots, but they go up to almost to your knees. So yeah, that makes sense.
2 liters then.
Shin guards.
I'm gonna say 6. I'm gonna say 6. Because it's hard to get in, especially like you gotta like dip it in. You don't want to get your hand in it, like you're trying to be careful, and then it gets super heavy after. 6 is, I think, fair.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting that, but it makes sense.
It's the only thing that I have that is even close to resembling a container. And I'm gonna walk out of there barefoot.
Do you not have a backpack?
I have a backpack, but it's got my things in it.
I don't think he wants to fill his backpack with metal.
Well, if you took your things out and filled your bag,
but then I have to leave my things.
You could carry them in your hands.
It's probably best just to pass on the boots to the 2.
Yeah, I'm fine giving him the 6 synth, and we're gonna move on from from there.
Charlie, as an alternative to walking in this place barefoot and subjecting your feet to unknown contaminants, perhaps I can just offer you a lift. And I basically, again, sit and hover, and essentially, you could just sit in my cross-legged lap.
Yeah,
as a sort of wooden chair.
I'm gonna sit in his lap.
Oh, I don't recommend that. Sitting still is hazardous to your health.
And I'm gonna look and I'm gonna be like, you better fucking hold me. don't you dare drop me.
Okay. As I wrap my arms around your torso. Done.
Hug me like you're helping me make pottery.
Lance is gonna be behind, just like pushing them along.
Oh, my love.
This has just been a strange day.
I want to
I think I just threw
now.
up a little in my mouth.
You're not the only one, sis.
How bad do I want to make a picture of Charlie and Max in that situation?
Oh, I think you really want to.
Oh boy. So you have a choice. So you roughly know the direction to get out. You think you could make it out with relatively little difficulty. It might involve a check or something, but you think you can make it out with relatively difficulty.
Max has a map.
Yes, but you guys kind of you did get turned around a bit when you first sort of like you were running away from like the undead creatures and stuff like that. That's what I'm saying. It's relatively little difficulty. So you have a choice. You can take your stuff and get out of Dodge, or you can explore further. I mean, the ruins go on extensively. You could probably spend the rest of your lives in here if you wanted to.
I mean, Max has for a good portion of their existence.
That's true. You were found in here.
Down here. It's like, been there.
We can always come back.
This is true.
Sure.
And also,
Let's
even
go
though
get
we're
bed
mechanically-
sheet of shit, and then we can come back for ourselves.
Even though
Admittedly,
mechanically we're not worrying about the weight, I mean, in character.
Admittedly, I probably want
New boots.
my new boots before we explore
Yeah.
further.
Also, we salvaged and took apart a thing that was over a ton and divided that weight up, I assume, amongst all our party members.
Well, after you tore it apart, you realized that a lot of it would just end up going being scrap metal anyways, which, I mean, there's plenty of... That's one thing in the world of Numenera you're not really running out of. Scrap metal and parts is basically everywhere. So that doesn't really seem worth bringing back.
Lance's pants is made out of scrap metal and leather.
However, the IO and the thom dust and stuff like that was very much like he took the good bits.
Yeah. Transistors, other various rare parts.
I will let you know now, just for funsies, the pod, you didn't exactly know what purpose this had, but it would turn inanimate things that touched it to liquid. Whatever touched it.
Oh, you said inanimate. Okay, good.
Inanimate and not powered. It wasn't anything not powered. So like if you had touched it with one of the tech swords, for instance, the tech sword would have been fine. Or Max would have been fine. But if like Lance had touched it with his like little thing, it would have gone liquid.
It's not that little.
Lance has a little thing.
Steroids, right?
I mean, that's what his mom told you. I was washing him in the bathtub. Mom.
Mom.
Oh, stop. I'm the tough guy. All right. So yeah, you guys decided that maybe it's best to get out, go back to the world at large, go see if you can find Benji, that type of thing.
Yeah, turn in a quest.
Turn in a quest. Good stuff. All right. I like it. I'm for it. Okay.
We did enter into this a little half-cocked, so being able to reset and gather more resources to enhance our ability to delve more would be quite beneficial, as well as reflecting on this experience.
I think your robot's broken again.
You guys rolled pretty good in your navigation before. You kind of know where you are. I'm just gonna give it to you. You're gonna be able to get out.
I was gonna get 2 effort though.
No, you're good. You're good. You're gonna be able to, in this case, because you already kind of rolled to navigate, plus you were making a map, and you kind of just have to backtrack where you came from. So I'm gonna let you didn't venture awfully deep. Like you've been in here for a number of hours now, probably a good portion of a day. But you made some good progress, but you're not like super deep, so it's not too bad. So you are going to make it out. Let's change up the music here. Going back to the town.
Oh, by the way, may I borrow that stick of chalk? Someone had chalk.
I gave it to Ratio.
No, I mean, hold on. When you said you had chalk, I assumed it was powdered chalk. Like
Yeah, it was like a little stick of chalk that you crumble up into your...
Oh, okay. Yeah, stick. That's fine. Yeah, so I will give the piece of chalk over.
Okay.
I'm just basically marking it as we go for other people.
That's not what chalk's for. Chalk's for making your hands dry.
He's wasting the chalk.
Oh my god.
So you mark it for future explorers and to make it easier for them to be like danger this way, this way, that type of thing. Way out, exit.
They need to know where the synth steel is, so just in case they don't get lost on here, especially given how these tunnels are labyrinthine.
And for us when we come back down here.
Exactly.
Why you guys always make something about learning?
Because existence is all the process of acquiring experience and learning from said experiences.
Oh.
I am currently experiencing a headache.
Yeah, he just starts scratching his head. Uh-huh.
Isn't that how you discovered your way of the swole or whatever it was?
The way. Oh, the way is
You
the
had an
only way.
epiphany.
The way is the only way. The way is the only way. The way is the only way. Sorry, what?
Horatio.
She.
I think your love is broken.
Oh god. So Charlie's gonna look up and like pat Max on the head and be like, there.
Have to deal with the bumpkin humans. So with that, you're able to make it out of the tunnels in the ruins of Bedrove. Well, not the ruins, but the tunnels of Bedrove that are underneath the town. And get back to the flat top on top of the Table Rock itself. And back into the town. And once again, Bedrove isn't exactly the most extensive town. There's like a few dozen buildings. That's about it. There's buildings down below as well, but I mean, there's like one main watering hole that everyone kind of goes to, and a few other things. The smithies like down below and stuff like that. Like it's not a big town, so it's not like you've got a lot to have to comb through. It's not bustling streets or anything. You come out, you sort of dust yourself off. There's like a towns member that you recognize. There's like Jerry in the background and like, "Hey, have fun, did you?"
Yes.
How's it going, Jerry?
Oh, pretty good.
Jerry, what up?
Oh, not too much. You know, trapping.
Look, I made my hammer magical.
Oh, it's pretty cool. What's it do?
It hits stuff.
Well, that's a good hammer then, ain't it? Hopefully I can get a magic hammer one day. And I can hit stuff.
It hits stuff a little bit harder than it did before.
Well, good for you. It's probably heavier too, isn't it?
A little bit.
I'm sure it's quite light.
I believe you should seek out Mr. Sarkozius.
What?
Benji.
Oh, yeah. Bench. Yeah.
Yes.
He's a good guy.
He's a good guy. You only met him for like 10 minutes.
We had one conversation with him.
Nah. He's all right. He's all right. You can tell he works out.
Is Charlie's workshop on the way to the?
It's not a big town. You can make it on the way.
Okay, because I was just thinking we should probably stop and get you spare boots.
Switch up my boots and store all the stuff.
That's a very good point.
You get there. I'm not just bleeding flood points every 10 minutes. yeah.
You get there and you'll Zan will be in the workshop. I have a thing for Zan. Beep-be-doo.
Yes, you do.
Yes.
Guess what, Zan? I brought friends and metal boots.
She looks at you. Oh, metal boots. Why are they metal?
Because I filled them with metal.
Oh, okay.
And then I immediately start like shaking everything out of my bag onto the floor. Look at this loot!
She gets really excited. She's like, oh, did you find a lot of parts? 1 second. And she goes into the other room and she comes out in what looks to be like a hard-shelled like hazmat suit.
Hello again, Mark. Hello again, Zan.
Oh, hi. She like almost reaches out to like shake your hand again and then like remembers what you're. Is like, you? And like pulls her hand back.
Yes. Me.
Oh, don't be shy. Go ahead and give her a hug, Max.
No, I have weapons. So we've gone over this. I do believe the last time I did that, we woke up the entire neighborhood. Screaming. We have had this conversation. I have nothing against Max as a person. I just have issues with what he is. I'm sorry if that makes me a bad person, but I never know if he's going to explode.
What are you going to do when I start?
Perfectly reasonable fear.
What are you gonna do when I start replacing my parts with robot parts? What are you gonna do? Or with Numenera parts? I could have Numenera eyeballs, Zan. I could have Numenera eyeballs.
Oh, we've gone over this. I am going to like you as a person still from a distance. Until that point, you just need to stop. You don't need to. You've got bio parts. You've got people parts. You don't need any other parts. I'm just saying.
Numenera eyeballs are a bit Charlie, anyway.
Charlie's already roamed off as she's ranting to look at the parts and be like, oh, I can make this and I can do this with this. Oh my god.
Keep in mind that we do have to select 10 pieces of these parts plus 5 of the iota for Benji.
You can take it from my cold dead hands. Don't take this away from me. It's my moment.
Select the 10 that you could do the least with.
You give all the parts you don't care about. Here, there's a bunch of frog screw fasteners. I don't need these.
Self-sealing stem bolts.
Also, I'm assuming at some point we'll be able to restore our things. I have 6 out of 16 intellect. I can't remember how I get that back.
Yeah, you can in the combat tab. You can even see that you can roll to restore them on an action, 10 minutes, 1 hour, and 10 hours.
Yeah. So, for instance, I used my action earlier to get myself from 9 back up to 16 because I rolled a 7.
Think of them like short rests, except they take progressively longer each time.
I'm gonna do the action one because that's kind of low.
Yeah.
I'm gonna.
Could you also restore some of my subsystems and chassis?
I think the way, because I couldn't find a hard rule on how you're supposed to heal. So I think the way we're going to do it, Max, is when you can do the same rolls as everybody else, except that you need assistance to do it. So you're still making the same rolls, but he actually needs a check to repair. Does that sound fair?
Yep.
Because I couldn't find anything for the AI. It says you have to be repaired, but then it doesn't exactly say how this works.
It might be how medicine or healing works with other people, but it's off of Numenera.
Well, that's the thing is, if it works like medicine, you can only get healed once a day. Because
that doesn't actually make sense for a mechanical body.
No, so I was trying to figure out a way to. So I'm thinking the action 10 minutes, 1 hour, 10 hours is them doing progressively more detailed repairs on you. The action, the first one is just hammer out that dent and you're good to go. Whereas the 10 hours thing, it's okay, we need to get into the servo motors and start cleaning out that dust.
So 10 minutes to basically just buff out the chassis and repair a few wires.
And then you can, as long as he basically doesn't fudge the roll, I think it should be fine.
So yeah, that's more than I needed. One more than I needed actually, because I can restore 4 to might and 2 to intellect and back up to full. I got 1 floating.
All right, there you go. And
also, I've been. Yeah.
Oh, I was just saying.
So I was just saying.
I completely forgot that Flannery, you had your pet with you this entire time too. So you've got Fetch with you. Keep forgetting you've got your pet.
Yeah, well, that's cool. He just follows along.
He's a good.
We may have been using Fetch as a pack animal.
He's a good little whatever he is.
he's a good little that.
Yeah.
And not much area to carry anything.
He's a baby version of it too, so he only comes up to about 50 60 centimeters high.
Okay, so 2 feet or
once he's fully grown, he's almost the height of a person.
Oh, he's gonna be a big chungus.
Yeah, he's gonna be a big boy. Be a big one. Okay, so you had the last time you saw Benji was at the watering hole. Actually, when you go in Zan, we'll actually mention. Oh, yes, I saw individual Benji stopped by. Sort of filled me in on what's going on. I mean, you had mentioned a little bit before you left, of course. Yeah, I guess I'm going to be working with him now, Charlie. Is that correct?
Yes. I'm going to be gone on longer adventures or delves. I'm looking for, better treasure and things that I can bring back so that we can make this place a little bit more successful.
I mean, I kind of always knew this day would come. I mean, you've always been looking for a little bit more. The few parts we can get here never seemed quite enough for you, but I would like to make one more plea. I mean, we get a smattering of parts here. There's the tunnels down below. I mean, you don't really have to leave, do you?
Charlie's gonna walk up and grab Zan's hands and look her right in the eyes and say, "Listen, just because I'm leaving doesn't mean I'm not coming back. It's not like you're never going to see me again. It just means that I'm going to come back with hopefully a lot of wealth and things that might help the town and help you. And that means so much to me to be able to help you, and I can't do that here."
Logically, I get that, but it's just so scary out there.
Well, it's going to be just as scary not having my best friend.
Well, just make sure you come back and visit me someday, okay?
Absolutely.
I'm not going anywhere. I'm afraid even to climb down the stairs.
If I find Numenera stairs. If I find a Numenera on my travels that allows us to communicate, is that one that you'd be open-minded about?
I mean, I could build a protective box, sure.
Okay, well, I'll keep an eye out then.
Thank you. Well, good luck to you. I mean, I'm sure I'll see you before you go again, of course, but go fulfill your destiny. Do what you need to do.
But before we take any kind of long journey, I have to come back. You gotta make dinner one last time before I leave, because I know I'm not gonna have food nearly as good.
Also, most of your stuff is here.
Yes.
Shut up, Max.
I was trying to make it touching. Something is illogical. She's like, yeah.
Most of my stuff is here too.
You gotta come back. I'll make those bokacho dumplings again.
Yes.
Good. Well, be off. I've got an experiment of my own that I'm working on, and you see that she's like behind sort of like a blast shield, and the other side is, your character's not fully recognizing it at first, but you yourself, as a player, to describe it to you, it looks kind of like a can opener.
Okay.
But she's like behind a blast shield. No. But she's still like behind like a protective shield anyways, like with like the armhole so she can like work from behind it.
I just have to laugh at the conceptual nature of this, because she's basically hiding from a can opener behind what is essentially just a large version of the side of a can.
Pretty much, yeah.
She knew the actual origins of this device. She may not have gone for that.
And so the cycle repeats itself.
You're like touching conversation with her earlier. I was picturing a different version in my head. And she's like, "You don't have to go yet. You can stay here, blah, 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 blah." And you'd like gingerly take her hands. It's like, "Listen, I would kill you and your entire family and everyone you care about for the parts to make my robot."
Well, here's the thing. We all know that Charlie doesn't actually say it anymore.
I will bury this entire town under rubble just to get the parts that I need for my fucking robot.
You guys don't know yet, but Charlie's the final boss. Just like an army of robots. There's like lightning in the background.
I dread the day when Charlie eventually tries to scrap me for parts.
Charlie Eggman.
Yeah, Max, can you give me a hand for a second? No, I mean like give it to me.
Start unscrewing my hand.
God damn it again.
Charlie's origin story basically ends up being the whole process of the song Skullcrusher Mountain. Or no, wait, The Future Soon. Where he, slowly, progressively gets worse, and then he starts Robot Wars, and yeah.
Yep.
I'm for it.
That was
I like it.
The Future Soon.
Okay, so you guys are, I'm assuming you're going out and just, it's not going to take long, but I'm assuming you're going out and trying to find Benji.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I'll
So
find him quick.
He's around actually. He's not at the watering hole per se. He's actually out because there's still a lot of open spaces. Like the top of the plateau of Bedrove it still has some like hills and even trees and stuff like that growing up there. Dirt has covered it over who knows how old this structure is. And so there's spots, and it looks like he's kind of measuring out a spot where he's going to build his whatever it is he's planning on building. And you kind of see him out there. He's got like pegs and some like string and whatnot between them to help him measure out the right angles and whatnot. And he does stand up as you guys like approach, and yes, what? You're back.
Hey Benji, how's it going? Looks like you're making a sick of a weight bench there.
It's
Nice.
well, it's going to be more than a weight bench. It's going to be a, you know what? Sure, yeah, whatever. It'll be what do you need?
Good. It's gonna get you can get nice and swole.
How goes the hunt down below?
Oh, we have
Very
everything.
successful.
We have everything you need.
Oh, already? That's quite good. Oh,
Yeah, the gains weren't as nice as I'd like, but he starts flexing his biceps. But we're getting there.
We were able to navigate to essentially a mother lode.
Charlie will hand over the parts in the IO.
Okay.
And say, we found a pretty good source of synth steel, and hold up the now just like boot-shaped metal hunk of synth steel.
did you find steel boots? What?
No, it's liquid.
There is a whole reservoir of synth steel down there, and I will start sketching out a map.
Oh,
Which
that
is
is
sort of like you're just printing with the finger.
that is amazing. So a liquid synth steel that we can use to pour out. If I could secure the place, make molds. Oh, this is good indeed. You've done a great job.
Before they actually start handing stuff over, Lance is going to step in between them and like get up right in this guy's face and like, what do you want this stuff for?
Oh, I'm going to build numerous things, of course. As I mentioned, I wish to set up shop here. I mentioned it was because I wanted to retire here. Well, that was sort of a half-truth. I do wish to make my home here, and it is going to involve doing what I need to do for this. But it's not retiring per se. I'm still going to work for what I do. I am a member of the Order of Truth, known as a seeker. I'm an Aeon priest, although I don't dress like you may be familiar with. Yes, I plan on creating some establishments in a large device thing. One of them is to be sort of a shield inhibitor to help protect the town. That's actually one of my first projects. I've already been speaking to the yahoos that call themselves the Council. One of them wasn't even sure if he was in it. I don't know what sort of government your town has here. It doesn't seem to make much sense.
All right, works for me. And Lance will just walk away, puff his stogie.
I do remember you discussing defenses earlier.
Yes. There'll be installations that I plan on doing to make some improvements here at Bedrove. Now, of course, as you are providing these parts, of course, I made a deal. I would stick to this deal. I will give you the information first before we solidify such things. It is only right. You've done wonderful. You've done great. So, here's the thing. I have mentioned I am an Aeon Priest, although in a peculiar role. Not a normal advisory role or such like this. I am what is known as a seeker. I do a little bit between what Max and Charlie do, really. Or at least I did. But I have been tasked with certain things. Now, as you know, the Order of Truth is an independent organization in the Steadfast. It is not tied to any one kingdom. But we do often get assigned to certain kingdoms, and I have been assigned to Navarine, the kingdom we reside in now. And for a very particular thing, the Crown has decided that it is looking for life-extending rumors and such. Things to help with the assistance in aging and health and all of this. Well, there is a certain rumor that has popped up that is of importance to the Crown. A small village to the north, quite a bit north of from here actually, by the name of Aldir, has a bit of a secret, a series of secrets going on, as far as we can tell from the information we have gathered. Word has it that the leader of Aldir has managed to gain some sort of long life or immortality, and as you know, communications can be spotty among the small villages. Some of them don't see people for years on end. Well, the government is keen to know more about this. An Aeon priest was sent there last year, but the last communique received was a letter stating they'd found a hidden Numenera ruin beneath the town and was going to investigate, and Seeker Sonara has not been heard from since. So, that is not as much of a secret so much as I have been tasked to find people that could assist the Crown with this. If you can find out information, find out what is going on, maybe find what happened out to Sonara, let's just say the Crown would be very grateful.
Not to mention, I assume, a bonus gratuity if we also manage to locate the life-extending procedure at the process, as well as any relics of ages past found in this Numenera route should exist.
The primary goal is whatever technology or source or magic has possibly extended the life of this leader, assuming these rumors are true. That is all that matters. If you can find Sonara, if you can find any extra Numenera you find, yours to keep, of course. We're not looking for any extras. The Crown does not need it right now. All we are looking for is anything that has extended the life of the leader, if it's true. So that is what we need you for. I would be your contact for this. If you can find this information, we can contact the capital of Charmand. And, well, let's just say if you find the answers we're looking for, and hopefully they do exist, you may get a express visit to the capital, a little vacation to the heads of government.
And who's going to fund this expedition?
What funding do you need?
Well, assuming that we're going to travel there, there's food and equipment that needs to be purchased.
Well, I mean, I don't really have funding for you per se. I'm pouring everything I can into this establishment for what we have here. That's why we're looking for independence. Presumably they fund themselves, no?
Occasionally. We do, however, did get a bit of a windfall in extra parts and resources that we could put towards self-funding our own way there.
What other equipment would you require?
Well, I can always use arrows. I can help us live off the land.
Arrows?
I used up some of my arrows down below.
Oh, ammunition? Sure. I can craft that for you. I can provide that for you. Not a problem. I could probably even provide you
access to that.
Oh, go ahead. No, go ahead.
I want unlimited access to that gym of yours.
You know what? I guarantee you, any gym that I make, you will be provided lifetime unlimited access to.
Yes.
And if we're going north, you guys are going to need shirts.
No.
If not jackets.
Actually, one thing I will give you a bit of geographical knowledge that your characters would know of at least. You won't be traveling north enough that it would change the temperature too much. You are in a temperate location, so there is winter, summer, stuff like that. And this is for you rather than your characters, because your characters don't realize how this works. You actually live on the southern hemisphere. So south is cold.
Oh, I see.
And as you go north, it gets hotter.
So we'll need short sleeve shirts.
Yeah. But you if you stay within Navarine, you won't see that much of a dramatic change, to be perfectly honest. You won't be traveling that long.
If I remember, Navarine's kind of actually a narrow slip of a kingdom between two others, or a few others.
We don't know that.
It is. Let me check here. Let me go to the map. You're gonna have to have this set up in like traveling in days.
It's a bit regular or something.
Oh, it hides it. Oh, you sneaky bitch. Okay, one second. There we go. There we go. No, it's from south to north, it's a little over 400 kilometers. So, I mean, all in all, it's not too awfully crazy. And it's about 1,000 kilometers long.
Yeah. We will probably require transportation. Are your chocobos or bokachos available for such a trip? As I ask Flannery and Hawk.
Well, I mean, we each have our own, but I mean, I don't know how many Dad's willing to part with.
Oh, we might have to go on.
Well, Moneybags here can buy mounts for the rest of the guys.
Or alternatively, we could construct a wagon that could be pulled by only one or two chocobos, and therefore able to lift everyone without having to expend much in the way of chocobos for everyone.
I mean, if you need a wagon for your bokachos, I'll sport for a wagon for you if that's what you need.
Yeah, I'm not really much for riding bokachos. Too scrawny. I'll ride in a wagon, no problem.
You've never met one of the jumbos, then?
A wagon for storage would probably be just fine for the bokachos to pull the couple that we have access to. The rest of us can use that ancient mystical Numenera known as legs.
Do you think there's a bokacho version of foie gras?
Probably.
God, that would be. Ugh. All right. One other thing I can do here is I can here, and he presents to you what seems to be a tablet of some kind.
which has been updated to basically be a map. I've got some stuff that I've unlocked for you here. I've been able to update some of the local map for you, at least for what you need here. So give me one moment. Reveal.
Does anyone mind if I take the map?
No.
Okay. So yeah, you've got right there, and let me see here. Places.
There we go. I was gonna say I don't see any.
Okay, and Aldir. Second.
Yeah, I do kind of like how the fog of war is over everything, because we don't know shit about where shit is.
Yeah.
You guys see a fog of war? Because I don't.
Do
You mean you see all the icons and everything?
I do.
Oh, that's weird.
Oh, you see everything?
I see the map. I don't see anything caused by fog of war.
Well, like, is the map sort of grayish, or like, is it all green and you see a bunch of icons for all the cities and stuff?
That last one.
So you see all the icons and everything?
Oh, shit.
I see the Westwood. I see the Cape of the Maw.
That's weird.
Right next to it.
Well, I guess it's freaked out a little bit.
Share your screen, Wes.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, there we go.
It just started like fading in and out.
Yeah.
Where I was able to see other stuff.
I was trying to reset it there.
Ah.
So hopefully it's fixed. If not, it's not a big deal. It's just to represent what your characters know.
Yeah.
All right. So that's you do know that there is. I forgot to hide some of the information, but you do know that there's some sort of floating structure or something along the way between you and Aldir. And Aldir is the little dot by the river there.
Okay. Are those icons supposed to be interactable?
Can you double click on them and see what's in them?
Nope.
I can't even see them.
I only see the Baldrove icon.
Okay.
Same.
Good.
I can see the Baldrove icon and click on it. I can't click on the other two.
Okay, that's the way it should be.
Okay.
I can't even see the other two, so.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, they shouldn't be interactable yet anyways, because there's information in there you don't know. But he will give you some information. Actually, will he? How much information can he give you here? Actually, he'll give you the information on the structure. So I'm gonna go here. Places. No. This. Permissions. Observer. And...
Yeah, I can see that one now.
1 second. Format. Okay. Well, we'll see if this works. If not, maybe you'll get more information than you're supposed to, but fuck it. I will give you this thing for Aldir as well. Okay, so you should have the thing for the Turkir pylon, as well as a pin on there for Aldir. And if you don't see them, don't forget you may need to make sure that your pins are turned on in the bookmarks section. We'll go out through that before, again afterwards if you need. So I will read them off for not only your sake, but also for anyone watching now or in the future. So I'll start with the Tokir pylon, which basically this is the old man sort of describing, giving you this information. So, similar nature to the Amber Monolith and the Obelisk of the Water God, which your character's like, what? And he just sort of skips past that. This structure is difficult to reach and explore at the best of times. Although due to it floating within a small canyon, it is easier to reach than those other two obelisks. The Tokir pylon is a dark blue-black metallic material that shows the near-invisible seams with a dull red glow when it's at its hottest. It's regularly superheated, with moving connective chambers filled with thick black smoke. The environment on the inside of the structure is truly its greatest known danger so far. Every 26 hours, the structure releases its heat and smoke in a massive explosive sound. For approximately 1 hour after this, the structure is a lot more bearable to explore and is known locally as Magic Hour. Unlike its companion structures, the pylon has had entrances forcefully created, and a flimsy synth steel framework has been erected to reach the structure from the canyon edge. Climbing the framework is a danger of its own, as it always slightly sways in the wind. The pylon floats 150 meters above the ground below and stands approximately 600 meters tall. It floats above the canyon with sheer smooth sides that appear to be made of a metallic synth material. The sides of the cliff edge is high enough that it could just barely be of the same height as the bottom of the structure itself, albeit at about 30 meter gap distance between them. So, it's a point of interest along the way. It has nothing to do with what he's asking you to go do, but he is letting you know it's not like there's like a rushed time frame. I mean, they're only just checking up on the fact that the last guy they sent hasn't talked to them in a year. So, I mean, it's not a rush. So, just saying he's giving you information that there is something along the way. Whether you check it out or not is up to you. Just please don't hurt yourself while doing it because you have something to do. Aldir, how much of this of the Aldir one can you guys read?
First paragraph.
Just one paragraph?
Paragraph.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, good. So the secret thing did work. Hey. So, with a population of only a few dozen in the town and a few dozen more in the surrounding countryside, Aldir is both the name of the village and of the village's leader, mostly because they are one and the same. The town was built around a green monolithic structure that rises 12 meters tall and is nestled in a small set of ruined synth steel buildings. Most of the synth steel has since been repurposed in the town, but a small portion of the ruins remains. That's all the information he has.
That is fascinating.
Oh, and yeah, for some reason he mentioned there's a strong tie to musical items within the city. You're not entirely sure, but everyone seems to carry one of these musical boxes. Almost like that was one of the few reports they got back from the seeker that was sent. The Aeon Priest is, for some reason, basically every single one of the villagers has one of these.
Cool.
And that's about it. He asks, I can get you that wagon. Is there anything else that you guys need?
No, I think we're good.
All right, well, I'll get you the wagon. It sounds like you got a couple of Bokachos you can hitch up to it. Yeah, it's up to you to do this. Once again, the crown would be greatly appreciative of anything you can find out, and you can keep anything you find there. I do have one more thing for each of you. Since you are working on behalf of the Order of Truth, but beholden also by the crown, you are given these, and he hands each of you basically like a small official letter, as well as like a little badge type thing, to basically show that you are on business for the crown.
Oh, great. Something.
Sorry, was that you cut out?
Badge?
I said, oh great, something else to wear.
You don't have to wear them, just if someone questions. These are officially stamped letters, and the badges themselves are extraordinarily hard to duplicate. Average people would probably be fooled by a fake one anyways, but if you come across anyone in the know or any Aeon priests, these badges will identify you as being on an official assignment on behalf of the crown.
So Lance will tuck the badge in his pocket and take the note and fold it up and stick it under his toque.
Okay.
All right. Well, I imagine we're not leaving like right now.
There is no rush.
Well, besides, I mean, getting us a wagon, we still got to get it down to the farm.
I'll leave that.
That's where the Boca-Cho's.
To you.
You imagine that the vast majority of any wagon that you would get would probably never come up here anyways. The only you've seen like little like tug sleds or something bringing goods up, but no one actually drives a wagon up.
Hand carts.
Yeah.
My cabbages.
Exactly. Well, the same thought.
In his downtime, Lance actually takes a job as pulling some of those tug carts up.
That's your thing, yeah. Horatia's busy running around delivering things, and you're pulling the tug carts.
Yeah, one thing I never really asked, like our starting stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have anything aside from what our class said? Like I'm looking at contents of this explorer's pack here.
It's whatever you said you started with, or whatever your your starting classes will be used for not a term. But I think it's nano that gives you your starting gear usually, or like your type. It's whatever it said you got, and anything else your other bits.
Yep.
Okay.
Stuff. Some of you got more stuff than others.
Oh yeah, I guess
I got a magic hammer. I'm good.
Done stuff.
Yeah. So it depends. Yeah, it's whatever it said you got.
I guess I'll have to spend the few shins that I got on some basic supplies for the road.
With those shins that you got, are you still Cyrus from the lock?
Pardon?
No, never mind. It was a bad music joke.
It blurred together. I didn't even understand what you said.
I didn't even hear what you said.
Yeah. With those shins that you got, are you still Cyrus from the block?
No.
Jenny from the block, anyone? No.
Yeah.
I didn't get it. I'm sorry.
J-Lo? Jennifer Lopez? No?
Yeah. I'll give you laughter later. I owe you one laugh.
One laughter.
One laughter. Okay. So with that, you are easily you're gonna get a cart or a wagon of some kind. This is what we're gonna use as your party pot. It's kind of what I figured it was gonna be used for once you were done this part. I figured you were gonna have some sort of wagon or something. And you will you'll get, I figured the farm, the Boca-Cho farm that Hawk and Flannery come from, you've got your personal Boca-Chos, those like your father can't really afford to give any others. So I'm assuming that they're going to be hitched up to the wagon. Unless you guys want to try and get another mount of some kind.
Well, how much Boca-Chos go for?
More than you got.
More than we have.
Yeah.
Unless Charlie wishes to sell off some of her parts.
That's why I suggested that Benji buy some.
I found money and put it into the party pot. I'm not sacrificing the parts.
That's fair. We'd probably get more use out of those parts than we would get an extra Boca-Cho.
Yeah. I mean, you make a... Sorry.
The two would be fine.
Yeah.
I mean, we've
I was
got
gonna say, you make a large enough robot eventually you can just have that lug us around like we're in the Iron Kingdoms or something.
It's like Charlie can build, parts.
How much longer is the campaign going for? You mean tonight or in general? We go till about 10.
Half hour, roughly.
Another half hour, roughly.
Yeah, about another half hour. We usually go from about 7 to 10 usually. Yeah, if you wanted, you could probably trade one of your IO for like a Bokucho. Up to you. I also would understand if you don't, because you need that shit. The reason IO is needed for most of the crafting recipes.
A IO. I can trade an IO for a Bokucho.
Okay, so if you do that, which I would allow, then you can hook that one up to the wagon and say the other two that you guys have could be used as independent mounts.
Yeah, got a nice chunky one. It's good at pulling.
A draft Bokucho.
What'd you call him there, Hawk? A jumbo?
Yeah.
Chungus.
Jumbo.
The Chungus.
A biggin.
Yeah.
Chunky.
And
Lord, he coming.
I used to have that T-shirt, but it like disintegrated over time. But it was the Chocobo Inbreeder T-shirt, and it was like the Chocobo. It was like like saliva drooling down. It like just Chocobo looked like he'd been inbred. Like, I missed that shirt. So yes, you get set up. You've got everything that you need. With that, and what we'll do, so there's gonna be, okay, so you guys have lots of time. You're not on any pressing concerns yet, right now, as far as you know. There may be things happening in the background, who knows? I'm not gonna say. So it's completely up to you. What are your plans? Do you plan on like venturing back underneath Bedrove just to see if there's anything else to see before you go? You just want to head out? What do you guys want to do?
There's a tunnel under there we didn't go down.
There's lots of we can spend like an eternity down there.
There's kilometers and kilometers of tunnels down there you didn't go down.
Oh, so that'll take me like 12 minutes to run. Let's do it.
I think we should go back and at least see what else is down there before we leave this area, because we don't know when we're coming back.
It would also be prudent to clear the area around the Synsteel repository, just to make sure that it is safe for excavation by others.
I understood clear. What else did you say?
Go down, search area.
Yeah, we can do that.
Where the Silver Lake is.
Go down.
Destroy anything that would be a threat.
How you said the magic word destroy. I like that. Let's do that.
I should have said neutralize, but I believed it was too many syllables.
No, we're destroying stuff.
Not our job.
Yeah,
okay.
There's a couple things I want to pick up. Just I want to grab myself a backpack and the sturdy boots, if I can. How much are they?
Oh yeah.
Did you get an explorer's kit?
Huh?
Did you get an explorer's kit?
No, that's why I'm buying these things.
Oh, okay. Just asking.
Yeah, because I didn't. Let me. Second. That's foci. Oops. Types. Yeah, because Nano didn't get. What did you get? You get anything? Like what the hell?
Clothing, a weapon, a book, 3 ciphers, an oddity, and 4 shins.
Oh yeah, you get 3 ciphers as opposed to everyone else.
Yeah, you didn't get much. It really didn't give you much. Because I think it's the types that I'm pretty sure give you all your swag. Sometimes you get
sure.
Yeah, sometimes you might get an extra additional equipment with your like foci or descriptors or whatnot. Yeah.
For example, I got my little weight measuring device.
Yeah, you just didn't get much. Cool. Okay, so that's the Destiny book. 1 second, I gotta open the right book here. Discovery.
I figure if we're going to be traveling around, having a backpack to store things and some nice sturdy traveling boots is probably a good idea. If I
Yeah.
can afford those, I'm going to pick them up.
Equipment.
Figure rations. I figure
At least the
rations.
sturdy boots.
Also, you might as well check the cost of rations while you're in there too, because I'm assuming they'll come out of the party pot, because we'll probably buy
Okay, so what did you need again? You needed a backpack, you said, right?
backpack was the main thing.
Okay, backpack is 2 shins.
Okay, I'll buy a backpack.
Why am I putting it over there? Why am I moving my head?
Speaking of which, I will actually be putting the rations that I started with into things since I don't need them.
Okie dokie. What else did you need?
Sturdy boots was the other thing that I was interested in.
Boots. Boots is under. Where's boots? 1 shin.
Okay, there we go.
So how many arrows do we have between all of us?
I have 0.
Well, Benji said that he'd replace the ones that we used down in the tunnels.
Yeah, here, what I'm going to do is in the party pot, I'm going to give you some arrows that he is going to give you guys.
Make sure it's a crap load.
Bushes and bushels of arrows.
Quantity? Crap load.
Crap load.
That is roughly equivalent to a fuck ton.
Metric crap.
Which is what the sphere weighed. Or, sorry, oblong shape pod. Before we took it apart.
There. I've added 60 arrows to your party pot.
Thank you, sir.
Actually,
3 standard covers.
1 second. Let me double check something. Arrows come in dozens. Okay, let's make this. Oh, yeah, that works. There we go. Yeah, 60.
5 dozens.
Yeah.
5 quivers worth.
So there you go. So yeah, there's 60 arrows. Feel free to take or lower and then increase your own if you need to. That's the free arrows he gave you. It looks like it is 5 shins for a dozen arrows normal.
Wow, arrows are kind of pricey.
Yeah, odd, but hey, whatever. Rations. You want to know about rations? Rations are.
Yeah, I figure we're gonna go through those.
2 shins for 1 day.
Okay.
Don't forget, I'm going to help you live off the land.
Yeah. But, for the days that we don't find anything to live off of on the land necessarily, we're going to need some backups, probably.
And keep in mind that you already have 3 rations because I donated my portion.
So we should probably spend that, 10 shins that we got in there right now on rations. Just to be safe.
As I am fueled by quote-unquote magic.
Yeah, you don't have to eat.
You run off of magic!
I run off the background entropy of the universe. As long as I'm active, I am slowly causing the universe to end.
It's true.
We don't know that. You run off of magic!
Magic.
Tropic reactor.
Like, you might run off of that. We don't know.
Yeah, go ahead and just go ahead and take that.
Yeah.
As many as you want.
Yeah, I just figured knowing how much rations cost would probably be a good idea.
And I'm once again, if you need to liquidate more parts, one IO, by the way, Charlie, is worth about 100 shins.
Okay.
Lets you know that you are, because of parts, actually one of the wealthiest party members right now.
Don't tell them that.
I
You're bugging me for fucking money all the time now.
I mean, Cyrus is considering that party funds anyway, since we're all down there looting it.
Yeah.
It doesn't just automatically become Charlie's.
I am getting my goddamn robot.
It's also money.
Fucking robot.
Well, the good thing about taking a carriage/wagon is that you can do a little bit of tinkering on the way.
Wow. Okay. Wow, thumb dust is expensive. All right. No need to think about that one. Yeah, you're a rich motherfucker.
Especially if it's pure Colombian thumb dust.
Pure Colombian thumb dust. The good stuff.
Yeah. Pure, not cut with anything.
Yeah, so I'll let you know the way the pricing works is once you get into Iotum and like the super expensive parts and stuff, it's no longer rated in shins because it gets too expensive. It's rated in IO. Like basically IO becomes the base currency.
Wow.
Whereas one IO is worth about 100 shins. One thumb dust is worth about 30 IO.
Wow.
So 3,000 shins.
Yeah.
So why don't we just become drug dealers? Because apparently that's more profitable.
We need to find more drugs. That's why we're going on the mission.
I mean, unless you can start synthesizing thumb dust.
I hear there's this hot obelisk on the way.
That is true.
Grind it down.
Yeah, it's the way the IO works is interesting. Interesting. When you find it, it's worth it. Proto matter's actually one of the more expensive things, but that's interesting. If you find it, you can't really carry it with you. All the other like iotums are they're fairly small. Some of them can kind of be heavy, except for proto matter. It comes in a container 40 feet long.
God.
Are they sure you didn't mean like 40 centimeters long?
No, 40 feet, 12 meters.
Wow.
So if you need proto matter for crafting, you better have a base. Just hoping you don't need it for crafting.
Like we have to find the proto matter and then craft the thing that we're trying to build at the proto matter.
Right there, yeah. Bring everything else to it.
Yeah.
Assuming we don't have like a teleportation cipher or something that we can just port it to where we need it.
Exactly.
Like we bring this stuff to the proto matter.
Okay.
Miniaturization shrink ray. Maybe.
So what we'll do is I think we're gonna wrap up any other downtime stuff we want before you venture back in, and then that's probably gonna be it for tonight, because getting into something this late, like this close to our ending time, I think would be a mistake.
Yeah.
Is there anything else anyone else needs as far as prepping for your future adventures and stuff?
Yeah, having to use my boots last time has made me think that maybe I should keep some containers of some variety on me.
Or extra boots.
That would also be
just buys extra boots.
Speaking of which, yeah, I'm gonna have to spend a shin or two shins, however much it costs, on another pair of sturdy boots.
One shin.
One shin, yeah. I would have had to like cut my boots open.
I would like to invest in a medium weight longbow.
We'll start with containers. So you can get like clay pots for like a shin each. Glass, like a glass jar would be 2 shins.
Is there anything like metal containment that is a little less breakable?
Metal?
Or anything that can act as containment that isn't as fragile? I mean, I just used a boot, so...
if you wanted like a metal box, like how big are we talking about?
Like, it'd be the same as like jars or pots that I'm looking for, like just small ones, because again, like same thing, like I filled up my boots, so like if it's gonna be the kind of thing where something that isn't a breakable material is gonna cost me too much, I'm just gonna buy a bunch of pairs of boots and use those to fill things that I need. You know what I mean? Like,
if you want
there's gotta be an equivalent.
If you want a metal container about the size of like a jar or whatever, I'd say about 5 shins. Sounds pretty good, pretty accurate.
I was just thinking what you said earlier about the scrap metal.
Sorry,
wouldn't it just be better for
5 shins?
5 shins, yeah.
Cool. I'll buy 2 pairs of boots. Thank you.
Okay.
I was about to say, with the metal containers, given what you said earlier about scrap metal, the ambient scrap metal in the area, wouldn't it just be easier for Charlie as a builder to just basically pick up scrap metal and forge their own?
Nope, just gonna start using boots as containers.
There you go.
Cheaper than real containers.
I mean, the boots, if it's liquid, the boots can leak and stuff like that. And they're not always easy to carry things. But at the same time, I mean, they have their own tie-off, which is nice.
Yeah. I mean, they're not going to, completely close or anything.
Yeah.
And they are sturdy.
Well, I mean, if you want to use boots as a container and that's your thing, fucking go for it. Do it up.
Surely they have things like wineskins.
Yeah.
Or even wooden boxes that you could carry glassware or crockery in and put in the cart.
Oh yeah, that'd be significantly cheaper. But he was asking about a metal box. He was asking about a metal box. And it's not that you're necessarily lacking for metal. It's so much as just you needed someone to that's a crafted metal box. I mean, 5 shins, all things considering. I mean, that's not too crazy. I mean, that's like 5 rations for a day.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know what I meant though. Like, I need things like that. Like, it's one. I don't want things that I can leave on the thing. I need things that I can take into the thing with me. So if I'm in a situation like there where I need it to hold liquid metal or liquid metal that cools instead of using my boot. But again, like if it's cheaper to just use boots, if there's no equivalent that's cheap, then
yeah. I mean, it doesn't have a top to it, but if you're just carrying some simple stuff around, yeah, just boots, sure. Even if you just want to call them, I mean, it's if you want it to be a simple container, then if it's metal, it'll cost more. If it's just like wood or leather or something, then it would just cost a shin.
Okay, because I'm just like not glass or things that can break in bags or anything like that if I'm carrying it into dungeons.
Because I'm looking like pouch or other small container, simple materials is labeled as 1 shin.
Yeah. Leather bags.
I'm looking at it right now. So yeah, you could do like water skins, sealed wooden box. Describe it how you will. Like a waxed box or something.
Lacquered.
Yeah.
Pitch and tar covered.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, that would work. Someone else asked something too, didn't they?
Yeah, I'm looking for a medium-ranged weapon, like a longbow or composite bow.
Weapon. Yeah, so a bow. You're looking at like 3 shins.
That's exactly how much shins I have.
Perfect.
Since we just picked up a bunch of arrows, and I'm actually more of a ranged person anyways because of the whole weight thing, so weighty power.
Yeah, and that'll be a medium weapon or medium bow.
Cool.
Oh. So I think that's probably going to get us to wrap up. We're just doing shopping stuff at this point. Not the most exciting thing in the world to watch or whatnot. So I would like to thank everyone that joined for the session once again. This was a bit calmer, but once again, it's not D&D. Not every session is going to be like balls to the walls combat. Sometimes it's going to be exploration and discovery, sometimes social stuff. There's a little bit, I mean, discovery is kind of name of the game when it comes to Numenera. But do expect more combat coming up. They actually came very close to some tonight. Thank you everyone for joining. As always, depending on whether you're watching on Twitch, YouTube, what have you, and subscribe, like, follow, all of that good stuff. There will be eventually edited versions of these live streams up on my YouTube. For now, I'm just kind of keeping up the raw live stream per se, raw and uncut. But there will eventually be prettied up versions of the intro and all that good stuff. So I think for the live stream, at least on the Twitch side of things, we should do a raid because we've got a few people here.
Kirbythia just started streaming some John Wick Hex.
Oh, well, there we go. Let's do Kirby. Raid. Oh, yeah. Okay. So, as always, gonna raid someone awesome. Kerpathai is fucking bomb. Go in there, yo, all the way. And as always, tell them where you came from, say hi, and maybe stick around and watch for a few minutes. Thank you, everyone, for joining us again for The Truth Outside, our Numenera game. That will bring that over. And then for the YouTube viewers, I'm going to stop streaming now.